All right. Let's load it up and see. Ah, yes. So, when we last were with our friends, we were in... Excuse me, I have the hiccups. We were in Berehard, and we are trying to figure out a couple of things, at least so far. There's a statue in town that looks like it's crying black tears, and we've been asked to investigate.
Well. I'll handle it.
And so we needed to come into this underground waterway to do that. And then the other thing is that our friend Eustace is basically being held. Yes, they have. So we've got to figure out what's going on and try to save Eustace. This brings back memories of when we snuck through here to rescue Machias. I also remember you unlocking the door for us, Emma. That I did. Allow me to do so again. Aperio. Open. You mean it's not Alohomora? What? That was easy enough. Technically, she shouldn't be showing it off in front of others, but what can you do? Regardless, we should go in. Yeah, just remember that it can get pretty dangerous in here. Okay. Let's go. So yes, we did rescue Machias from prison. He was falsely arrested. The last time we were down here. I see a few monsters here and there, but things seem relatively fine to me. Yeah, it's pretty as ever, really. Wait. What's that smell? I smell it too. It's faint, but pungent. Perhaps there is something down here. We should remain on guard then. Time to find out what's waiting for us. Oh boy, here we go. We got our little resting station. I just want to sing along with that. And so we've got this gate here. And then there's obviously that monster. So the wheel to open the next passage is on the other side, which this is how it was the last time. And I'm gonna wait for him to turn around. I was hoping we could just
This will be over in an instant.
defeat him,
I'll handle it.
but not yet apparently.
Now.
Pierce, got you.
Here I go.
Just doing this the regular way.
Now.
You're done. May I?
There's only 2 of them.
Our chance.
I'll back you up. It's my turn.
That's funny, Sue.
Oh,
Okay.
we did it.
First battle down for the day. Well, at least for Trails. So we did fight, the slime monsters. I thought last time there was a chest over here, but I could be wrong. It's been a little while. And, a whole other game. No things.
This will be over in an instant.
It'll be over in an instant.
Okay.
Let's move.
So this guy's actually first.
Now's our chance. Let's go, everyone.
Let them use their burst attack and build the points up again. It's a handy little thing.
With pleasure.
And I love Sharon's
Right.
thing, although she missed.
Hey,
But they all miss from time to time. We can do.
Targets eliminated. Let's get going.
Let's get going. All right. Good job, guys. So we've got more pots. And get some stuff. Got another. Oop. I want to sneak up on him.
Now's our chance. Let's get him.
Can't always do it, it
I'll
seems.
handle
They
it.
said somebody was saying they actually did change
May I?
to make it a little more difficult to get that double and triple advantage
I'll back you up.
in this game.
Let's move. Sit. Now's our chance.
Build
You're
those
done.
bravery points up.
You're finished.
Da,
It's my
da,
turn.
Da, 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 da. Thanks, Steve. I'm gonna have that song stuck in my head, but you know, the actual.
With pleasure.
I was actually watching a cover of that song earlier today in the
My
car.
turn. Ha! Now.
You're done.
I think it was
You're
either
finished.
First to 11 or Halocene. I can't remember. I watched a lot of both today.
Absolute
In the
victory.
car.
Nice fighting, Fee.
Nice fighting, Fee. And First to 11 had a great cover of Sweet Child of Mine, which I was really shocked by.
Great.
That's not an easy song to
Success.
sing and cover to where people who love that song would like it. And I thought they did a really good job with it. And the pots are being stingy once more.
That treasure chest is absolutely beautiful.
It's absolutely beautiful. Green pendulum. Alright, throw the switch. It opens the gate over on the other side. Oops, I did it again. I'll be like Kate. Kate likes to sing while she's playing. I don't sing so much. I mean, I can. My throat doesn't like it very much. I try to keep it to the bare minimum. Alright, let's look at the map. So there's one to the right, and then we go around to the left. And there's an exclamation point up there. So let's see. Ooh, he's coming after me. Can I bring you over to the other guy? Can you follow me over here? What about you? Will you come back?
This will be
Apparently
over
not.
in an instant.
Sometimes you can get them to come close
Okay.
enough together to do the change attack. I've only succeeded in doing that a couple of times.
Now.
You're done.
You're finished.
The children of...
Absolute victory.
Oh, really?
Nice fighting, Fee.
Oh my. I'll have to check it out. I've been working on playlists for Maggie. And so I'm trying to hit singable for her. Not that she could sing the phone book, but I'm trying to pick ones that would be faster paced
Now's our
because we have
chance.
so many
Let's get 'em.
ballads. So that's kind of been that and some other of my secretarial duties
May I?
that I've been working on during our little
Our chest.
enforced
I'll
vacation.
back you up.
I still do work.
Let's move. Ha! Now's our chance.
You're done.
I'm not gonna use my burst
You're
here.
finished.
You're finished.
Okay. Ta-ha! Now's our chance.
Here I come.
I'm just gonna do the assist. Because I feel like
Okay.
for these guys, they're almost dead anyway. What's the point?
Got you.
May I?
The problem is I know Jim Croce and you know Jim
I'll back
Croce,
you up.
but Maggie doesn't
go.
seem to know any Jim Croce because somebody asked her to sing
Now.
Time in a
done.
Bottle one day and she is
Okay.
not familiar with it. So I don't know if I'm gonna find
It's my turn.
a song that she knows. I mean, she doesn't know Time in the Bottle.
Oh, we did it.
I don't know. That's like the most famous one. Okay, so I did the chest. I came from here. I'm gonna go over here since the little charging station was right here. And watch those monsters regenerate. But that's okay. I can fight them again. Oh, and Bad Leroy Brown. I don't think she's gonna know them. Yeah, I mean, they did regenerate. Come here, slimy dude. And here, other slimy dude. Oh, yep, he ran away. Oh, he's following me. And then he went back.
Now's our chance.
Well.
We can do this.
But I love
My
Bad
turn.
Leroy Brown. That's a great one.
Here I go. Ha! Now!
You're done.
You're done.
Very well.
Very well. I have to change
my
out my
turn.
party after this and swap them around.
Okay.
Let's move.
I don't remember why I had this exact configuration.
Very
It must
well.
have been for somebody I fought at the end of the last game.
My turn.
It's my
More.
turn.
Alright, Elliot. Unscathed.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah, I mean, there's even been, like, more recent songs that I've tried picking that, you know, it's a mixed bag, so I hit multiple
Now's our
genres,
chance. We can do
multiple
this.
artists, and hope that something sticks. And so far,
Okay.
it's worked. And now I have everybody helping me with their suggestions, so
My turn.
that is definitely helpful.
Now's our chance.
Alright, I am going to use Burst here, because there's a lot of them.
Roger.
Leave it to me.
Now I'm gonna have Bad Leroy Brown stuck in my head. Bad Leroy
pleasure.
Brown. I used to play that ages ago.
I'll back you up.
That was a fun one to play.
Wonderfully executed.
Thanks.
Alright, so we got some jars over here. And some stuff. And just a nice little alcove jar. You know what I didn't do? I just need to check because Luna got the Pikachu. I posted some Pikachus earlier. I don't know if you saw them. I was just like, you know, with all this water here, I haven't gotten the, oh, this looks like a good spot. And I don't remember from the last time I was here if there was one and where it was. So I will keep looking. I thought I saw something down there. I think it was just a reflection. Interesting. Uh-oh. I didn't change out my party yet. Not that they're bad, but... Wow. He's a giant one. And he's got babies. Wow, what's this doing under the city? Hydrate. Is surrounded by acidic gases too. There's no doubt that this monster is the cause.
I got a bad feeling about this.
And then I've got a stretch. Okay, and fix this. Megaplankton. Yes, it is a megaplankton. Oh, so Emma says something's odd though. I don't know why, but the higher elements are in effect around it. Be extra careful, everyone. We'll have to exterminate it now that we found it. Get ready, everyone. We're going in. I think we're going in. Anyone name that movie?
This one looks really tough. Be careful.
Okay.
May I?
So, Sharon, I think in order to get Laura in, we're going to burn your S-Craft first thing. Either way, I just missed one this way.
Gather on
Oh,
my
I
blade.
didn't mean to hit that one. I meant to hit her, so well. I just want to get the babies out of the way. So if I have to use Sharon's next, then put Laura in.
May I?
Alright, that was definitely helpful. Death's Embrace.
Witness the severing chains. I'm a afraid. Your fate is now sealed.
Your fate is now sealed. Oh my gosh, I love it.
To death's embrace.
Die.
My turn.
Alright, that's what I wanted. I wanted all the little ones dead. So, I could ask Crafter with Fee. And this is appears to be the boss for this area, as you know. So why not? And then I can swap
Sylphie,
some people out.
what's that?
Not even doing normal attacks. Okay.
How naughty.
How naughty.
I'll back you up.
I'll back you up. And I didn't use my
my
overdrive meter. So Elliot has his... So we'll use 7th Rhapsody and then we'll be able to swap him
Here's a
and
performance especially
Sharon
for you.
out.
Seventh Rhapsody.
I love the colors in this attack. Sounds familiar, but I'm drawing a blank at the
You've
moment.
been a wonderful audience.
Yeah, I bet. I know she said she started at like 1:30 or something and was up like most of the night. Okay, we've got Overdrive now for Fee and Reen. So they're the ones that I was keeping in the battle. And we're gonna do a normal attack with Fee.
Now.
Got you.
We're getting him there.
Let's move.
And he can use his S-Craft again.
Ashen flames. Gather on my blade.
It's not fully charged, but he can use it.
Strike.
Yeah, all night. Yeah. Yeah, Kate and I have completely different schedules with her work. So, and then when I want to mod for her, it's hard because she's often playing trails when I'm there when she's going. So
Now.
it doesn't happen as often as I'd like, but
I'll handle
I don't want any spoilers for the game. All right, I don't have enough for that, but I can do this.
1, 2. Huh? And done.
And we get a burst attack.
Now, let's get this over with.
We might not need to swap anybody.
Okay.
He's gonna be kind of low. I think we might be okay, depending on what happens here.
May I?
Well, of course, Sharon.
How about this?
I love how her skirt twirls around and she kind of,
Die.
like I said the other day, very balletic
My turn.
type. Yes, Fee's amazing. And we can do Bullet Cyclone again.
1, 2. Huh? And done.
Oh, what? Okay, so now we need
Let's move.
Impede. Good thing it's Reen's turn.
There. Ha! Now's our chance.
We gotta build up the bravery meter again.
Okay.
Elliot crafts. Oh no, it's Emma that has that. Swap out. Wrong button. Swap out.
Sorry,
Emma.
can you handle this?
I'll take it from here.
Alright, crafts. Serene Blessing on Fee.
Blessing of the moon. Thanks. Too slow.
Too slow.
Very well.
Alright, Sharon. I was gonna swap out for Laura.
If you would.
So Laura
Understood.
can have a chance. And what the heck? Let's use Radiant Waltz because it's an awesome attack.
The Arcade School!
Of the Arcade School.
Radiant Waltz!
Yes, she is. She is amazing.
We should keep going.
And Laura did it. We burned our S-craft. But everybody levels up. Beautiful. Or beautiful, as our friend says.
I did it!
Isn't this a surprise?
Done.
Done.
I did it!
Did it.
I'm so glad.
I'm so glad. Ooh, detector beta can now be used. I think that's set as beta. Support 1 analysis balance down, defense ADF 50% for 3 turns. Analyze foes' weaknesses, making it easier to unbalance them.
I've only just begun.
And he goes poof. Okay. Phew, looks like we pulled through relatively unscathed. Case solved, I guess. The statue shouldn't shed any tears now that the water's back to normal. Indeed. I find myself perplexed by that monster's strength, however. It far outclassed your standard one. Not to mention the fact that the higher elements were in effect. Maybe the loss of balance here in Erebonia caused it to transform somehow? That's the same reason those cryptids started appearing too, isn't it? Wait a minute. We must be thinking the same thing. If that's the case, then the legends behind Saint Veronica's tears can't be entirely false, correct? Yeah, that's kind of spooky. At least we figured out what's going on, though. Quite. The case may be solved, but the mystery still remains. Perhaps it's for best we leave it that way. Okay, guys, let's report back. Okay. Oh, and they poofed us back. So this was all caused by a monster? Yeah, its presence was having adverse effects on the fountain's water, which in turn was causing the statue to melt. We made sure to eradicate it, however, so there's no need for concern now. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I asked you for assistance. This should help to ease everyone's worries, too. With the statue back to normal, I can finally devote myself to my work again. However, I find it hard to believe that this was all mere coincidence. So I'll have to do everything I can to ensure that Saint Veronica has no more reason for tears. That's reassuring. It may not be much, but please, take this. It's the least I can do for you all. We got a holy sphere. May Idios be with you all. And we've completed Veronica's tears. Okay, so we've talked to this is probably the same people that were in here before. How do the nobles manage to be so carefree every day? Alright, yeah, so they're saying the same things they said before. So now that that quest is done, I'm just gonna hit a quick save. And I don't, while I was down there, I forgot, I don't have any active quests or anything like that right now. So the only thing I can think of to do is to, oh, I don't think this, I think the fishing spot might have been down here. Oh, there's somebody. Oh, Bootsy, where could you have gone? You youngsters wouldn't happen to know where my little Bootsy went, would you? Are we finding another cat? I'm sorry. What? Oh, forgive me. I'm getting ahead of myself. Bootsy is my kitten. He went missing this morning, so as you can imagine, I've been awfully worried about him. Missing cat. Yup. Since you've been searching for him ever since, as much as I wish to help her, I think we should try avoiding doing anything that would make us stand out. What do you think, Reen? We're gonna help. We always help. We could help you search for him if you'd like. Oh goodness, how kind of you. The only issue is that I have no clues whatsoever, I'm afraid. We were in the Noble District at the time, but he disappeared while I was nodding off. I never saw which way he went. Maybe you should take your cat outside and nod off. If he followed the path out of the district, he would have ended up in the central plaza. So we're not entirely sure where to start then. Finding him may prove to be rather difficult. Yeah, it's not like we understand how a cat's mind works either. Or do we? You've caught enough cats. Do you even dare? Yes, and then not to mention, we have Celine. Well, I mean, you do seem like you'd have an idea or two. Seriously now? You're comparing me to your run-of-the-mill cat? Ugh, humans. Ugh, you're worried about him as well, though, aren't you? With your help, I'm certain we'll be able to find him. Fine, and you seem angry. The one thing I can say for sure is that kittens are always moved by their curiosity. He's probably too young to be especially cautious, too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's left a trail for us to follow. Don't expect me to do all the work here, by the way. Think about what you'd do if you were a kitten. Right. Time to head out. I was gonna say time to head out. Time to let out my inner cat and get started then. We'll start our search around here, ma'am, and we'll be sure to tell you right away if we find him. How about what does he look like? Thank you so much. Bootsy ran off while I was napping. I assume he'd followed the path along here, but I don't see him anywhere. Oh, Idios, please find him and quickly. Alright. And so I know, like I said, one of these places had a fishing area. Oh, and I wanted to, before I forget, I wanted to do this.
Is something wrong, Sharon?
Oh no, not at all.
Think of what you'd do if you were a kitten, huh? I don't think he'd be around people, but the water might be intriguing. Just walk around. I'm not looking inside. There's a dog over here, so I don't think he would be near the dog. But they have exclamation points, so... Oh, I just can't wait to see how long the Imperial Army will entertain us for. Indeed. Ideally, they'll do their best at making our little bet all the more exciting. Woof, woof, grrr, woof, woof, woof. Settle down, Richard. Goodness, he's been on edge ever since that filthy kitten dared to approach us. Leave him be for now. Perhaps he simply wishes to experience the thrill of the hunt once again. We can't exactly blame him after seeing such an unsightly thing. It's a kitten! Bootsy must have come by here at some point then. Their attitude towards him is rather deplorable, though. That's right. Well, I can't entirely disagree. Gotta say, I feel bad for Bootsy. I'm sure he was terrified after being barked at. It's not uncommon for kittens to run off in situations like that, only to end up not being able to find their way home. Curiosity killed the cat and all that. Right. He's barking towards the south, so I assume that's where the kitten went. Let's hurry up and find him. Right. Okay, so their exclamation points went away, so let's look. It's not showing us anything on this particular map, but they said, hey, he's pointing that way, so we're gonna go look this way. I don't see a kitten. I don't think he's over here, but... I know there's a way to get down there from there. It's probably in the other area. Because that is to the south, even though they said they were in the Noble District. So let's go this way first, I guess. No signs of a kitty there. And I don't think it's going to be indoors. He doesn't. Can I ask for a brief extension? Yeah, I already talked to you. So he doesn't have anything to say. Maybe the little boy? Is he still here? No, he's gone. Aha. Here he is. He's over here. He's so cute. Wait, I'm still on the clock. I'll never hear the end of it if I get caught in La La Land. Sorry for asking out of nowhere, but did a kitten just come by here? Damn, how'd you know? You're right though, it came here looking all hungry, so I gave it some milk and leftovers. It was all over me after that. I guess he calmed down after a nice treat. Chances are he'll be trying to get back to Eva now, which means he should be returning to the Noble District. Do you think he'll be able to find his way back? We should probably check, just to be sure. Alright, so we go back up the hill. And let's just look around and see. We see a kitten or anyone with exclamation points. None of these people. Oh, they said the Noble District. This is the Cathedral District. What am I thinking? Alright, so this is the area, the Noble District, that we don't want to get caught in either, but, you know, we also have a task to find Eustace. That's the guard. So wouldn't it suck if the kitten was over there? Alright. Hopefully it didn't go in anybody's house. I can't imagine it would, but... Alright, we can't open that. Alright, so we need to go. That red one is probably Eustace. I could be wrong. Hello. Quiet down, Cadel. Amazed at how these two never change. Doesn't even matter what's happening. Oh, our parents decided to leave us here and return to their ruling region for the time being. They said they wanted to protect it from getting swept up in the war. I'm proud of them, but it's difficult not to worry. I hope they're safe. Full speed ahead! Vroom vroom! Hee hee! Alright, so just one person here. No exclamation points. Mommy and Daddy have been away forever now. Forever! That's like a really long time. We've got a home tutor now, though. She can even play the piano. And when she does, I just have to dance. Okay. So it was worth a shot. Like I said, I can go back and look around more. The other cat liked to hide under the benches or on the benches. That's the last place I want to go. So let's look around, not under the bench. Let's check out this house. I don't think it's going to be in a house. I think it's going to be outside, but sometimes you get tasks, so it's good to talk to everybody. Or recipes. Master Gordy is quite famous for his numerous assets here in Croatian. He's been rather pleased with himself for expanding even farther on them over the past months, too. Alright, so we've got these two guys, which we saw somewhere else. Master Gordy is enjoying a cup of tea at the moment. If you have no appointment scheduled, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave. I hear that Count Richmond has come all the way here from Lemaire. Indeed, he seems to be staying at the Esmeralda. Come to make a profit off our famous economy, no doubt. He stands no chance of besting me, I say. I, after all, have the backing of the Duke. I can make more investments than he could ever dream of. Soon he shall be as salty as Lemaire's ocean. Okay. So, we've talked to everyone downstairs. Will it let us go upstairs? Yes, it will. Anyone upstairs? No, it does not appear so. And I can't go in there anyway. So definitely not in the house. We didn't get any recipes or books or anythings. This leaves the district. So that leaves going over here. I'm gonna save just in case I get caught and imprisoned. Provincial Army's guardhouse is just over there. It'd be foolish of us to approach it now. Okay. So, and the same thing was probably going to be said here. We might as well take a look here. According to Colette, Eustace should be in there right now, but it's far too dangerous to approach the premises. I'm afraid they would restrain us immediately if they found out we were here. Class 7 is likely to be much higher on the wanted list than the other students from Thor's. And remember our field study, Reen? The Provincial Army's guardhouse is here, so it'd be best if we avoided this area. Let's get out of here before they catch us. Okay, so we can't go up, we can't go there. We went in both houses. I don't see a kitten along the Noble District. Class 7 did what they could to find some way to get in contact with Eustace. However, doing so proved to be far easier said than done. And we're still looking for a lost kitten. We've established she's back home, but beyond that, nothing. It's not going to be easy to get in contact with a son of one of the 4 great houses, especially since the Alliance considered us wanted criminals. We're likely to be arrested by the Provincial Army regardless of how we go about this. Isn't there something we can do? This is a hassle we could really do without. Well, we need a plan, and fast. And here's the kids. Hello. Can I speak to you all for a moment? Oh, I think I recognize you. Oh, you're the kids who are reading a book on that bench. Do you need something from us? Well, we've got a message for you from someone. Huh? For us? Right. Head to the restaurant in the Central Plaza post haste. That's the message. The restaurant in the Central Plaza? I assume that must be Sorcière? Yeah, must be. Who gave you this message? Sorry, they asked me not to tell you. Is this some kind of game? Oh, I want to play too. Rabby, shh. Anyway, that's all we were told, so bye. The kids leave. That was weird. Thoughts, everyone? It may have come out of the blue, but I don't believe there was any ill intent behind that message. It may be in our best interest to do as it says. We're struggling for clues as it is, so any lead is a good lead. Looks like we're all agreed. Let's head over to that restaurant. Okay, so, once again. Oop. Wrong tab. Save. And I do want to look around here before we go back up there. We haven't found the kitten. I don't think there's going to be anything in the Galleria for us, but talk. Christie's is currently holding a commemorative fair to celebrate the Noble Alliance's multiple victories. Perhaps I could interest you in these luxurious shoes. Seems like I've heard this spiel before. Yeah, I remember seeing that, but I don't think it was here. I can't handle these soldiers in town. Yeah, we did talk to them. Yes, because this is the shop, and they had the ornament guy upstairs. Shop. Buy. Yeah, we can't do that. We haven't had a ton of Sepith, but we have some. Alright. And that's a bookstore, and the other guy's food. So... okay. I thought that was... oh, your food too, or books? Anyway, I'm not buying stuff there. Oh, these girls. Here they are. They didn't have things before, I don't think. That kitten was the most adorable thing I've ever laid eyes on. I don't think anyone could ignore that innocent little expression it had. Oh, they're from St. Estrella. They might know where the kitten went. Let's ask them. Indeed. Sorry to intrude, but we happened to overhear your conversation just now. Could you tell us more about where that kitten went? We're actually searching for him on behalf of his owner. Oh, is that so? He was here a moment ago until he got frightened away by a passing car. He ran off north after that. He was so cute, too. Oh dear, he may have wandered out onto the highway if he went that way. We should hurry, otherwise he could come under attack by monsters. Talk about a pain. The highway's dangerous for us too, but we can't just abandon him. Let's go. Alright, so... yeah, just reaffirming that this highway is the North Highway. But we also have... we had gone down there to get to the thing, and I still swear before we go down the highway that there was a fishing thing. I guess not. It's gonna bug me until I find it, because I know I fished here. Alright. Let's go this way. This is towards the exit. I don't see a kitten. Oh, we didn't make it to the highway, but it's... look, here's children. Oh, I want to play too. Don't forget about me next time, okay? Let's see. Head to the restaurant. Yeah. Alright, I don't see a kitten up here, so... oh boy, soldiers. Oh, he's way down the highway. We have to fight monsters. Big surprise. I should have tried to double shoot him.
Let's
I
move.
forgot. Critical attack.
There. Ha!
There, ha.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, one more.
My turn. Sia!
Yeah.
We should keep going.
We should keep going. Alright. And one monster down. And... does it really matter? I mean, either way, I have to go. So let's go to the left first, and then around. Oh, it's one of those guys.
Please, take care around that one.
Turn around. Apparently I can't do
A
that.
worthy adversary.
Let's move.
Alright.
Now!
An opening.
An opening!
Okay. Now.
Get our bravery points up again. Let everyone build back their CP, hopefully. I can actually cast Impassion here.
Here I
Oh.
go.
You don't have Impede. But we can do this,
Ethereal
and maybe
blaze.
that'll just kill him.
Go for it.
Nope. And now we've
I'll
got
handle
two. Alright, we can get both of
Eliminating
them.
targets.
This has Impede.
Onward.
Alright, Laura. I think we can forgo one turn. Oh, I gave it to Emma. Damn. Okay. Never mind. Forget I was gonna say anything.
They're off guard.
Alright, there's number 4. So he's gone. Now just these
Let's
guys.
move. There. Ha!
Get rid of this guy, hopefully.
Now.
An
Or
opening.
Laura's
slow.
blinded, I believe. Alright, nice
Targets
counter.
eliminated.
Deadly
Let's get going.
reprisal. Excellent. Alright, we gotta
I've
level
got
up. Detector. Is that... What is that? Is that alpha? That's not an alpha. And it's not omega. What is that? Well, if you... I think it's an alpha too. I mean, the other one had a... My controller disconnected, of course. I stopped for like 2 seconds to ask a question. And it is blinking at me. So hang on. It has to reconnect. There we go. I guess it's alpha. There we go. And we can heal who needs to be healed. On to Elliot, because he's our resident healer. Not that the other ones can't, but he's got the best stuff. Okay, so it is alpha. Okay. Alright, so let's just make sure there's no chests or anything like that. We do have this little track going up just by itself. I think that's where we found the Dryad's tear the last time I was on this tree. And then that stupid guy ate it. That was ridiculous. Obtained U material. That's a good find. U material is always helpful. As is Sepith Mass, and we've got another one of those egg snake dudes. Okay, she can't do it.
The advantage is
Sometimes
ours.
you get there and then they're low enough of a level that you
My
can just shoot them and
Eliminating
get their
targets.
Sepith, and you don't actually have to go through this fighting part.
Let's move.
Which I don't mind going through the fighting part. But
There. Ha!
because that it helps get their CP up, and
Now's our chance. Let's go.
I don't think you get that from the other way, but that kitten's way far out there.
This is our real power.
This is our real power. Okay. So, everybody looks okay. We're gonna keep going. Alright, so we're back to the main path. I'm gonna kind of ignore that guy for a minute. Oh, look, there's another egg dude.
The advantage is ours.
Okay,
Let's move. Sit.
nice.
Now.
An opening.
An opening.
Okay.
I was like, if you survive Reen and Laura on a critical, with a
My
critical,
turn. Sia!
you're a strong little egg
You
snake.
still have a lot of training to do.
That's right, Laura. They do. They really do. Okay. So, I'm just gonna do it this way. Is go back to where the path veered off. Which was here. I think. Oh. Nope, that was it. I thought I came out the other side of it. No, I came out right in front of it. Alright. So, there's a monster back over there. Nothing right here. Just a chest. And some stimulant. And another one of the big plant monsters. Feed me, Seymour. And a red
I hope
chest,
we're
a
strong
normal
enough
red
to take
chest.
that monster on.
This one looks dangerous. Be
Alright,
careful.
I was trying to get a single
handle it.
advantage on it. It didn't work. 15,000 points.
Let's move. Ha! Now!
An opening!
Building up the thing. We do have Overdrive available.
Onward!
Alright. Laura has defense line area. Alright, we're gonna use Brilliant Spin because she doesn't have Impede. So we're gonna hit all of these at once.
No escape! Saya! They're off guard!
Got you!
Oh, why couldn't you hit the one that need? Oh, they're not knocked out.
Okay.
They fainted.
Eliminating targets.
Eliminating targets.
Now.
Now.
I'll back you up. Look at us, V. We did it.
We did it.
Yeah, we weren't half bad.
We weren't half bad. Okay. Excellent.
Oh, isn't
Excellent.
this a pleasant surprise? There's a treasure chest here.
Yes, there is. And it's not a red viney one or a blue one. Because those are both good and... Well, the red ones are bad. The blue ones are both bad and good if you win.
The advantage is
Alright.
ours.
The advantage is ours.
Let's move. Ha! Now!
An
Okay.
opening!
Nice.
My turn.
So glad to have these guys all back together. This is my,
My turn.
favorite party right here. It's this group.
You still have a lot of training to do.
Okay. And let's look at the map. So the kitten should be just up ahead. There he is! I hear him meowing! Oh, kitty kitty! Hi! There he is! He must have been too scared to cross the bridge. Huh, quite fortunate for us, really. The provincial army unit stationed past here would have made catching him impossible. Thank the goddess for small favors. And Fee's good with kitties. Let's take him back to Eva. Get a move on, small fry. Yeah, oh, look at how cute he is. I can't wait to see the look on Eva's face. Okay, so I assume we're poofing back to Eva. And we did. Oh, Bootsy, I'm so glad you're safe. Meow, Bootsy. Phew, never expected it to be that tough. I still have to question why he would run when you two seems to be so close. Oh, I asked him about that, actually. Said some scary-looking vehicle took him by surprise. I'll bet if any vehicle could scare the little guy, it'd be one of the provincial armies. Is that so? I never even realized. You're not gonna fly, I'm afraid. Or, sorry. You're not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly, I'm afraid. You really need to pay more attention. You haven't even put a collar with a bell on him yet, either. It's like you don't even realize that... Oops. Meow? Everybody else is okay, but she talks in front of the old woman, and it's bad. Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness. Well, how to explain this? Slain. Oh, don't give me that. I got caught up in the moment. Oh my. I must be going senile already. I could have sworn your cat was talking just then. Silly me. Well then, let's be more careful from now on, Bootsy. Aw, that was way too close. Please, take this as a token of my thanks. A prismatic cape? You sure you want to give us something so expensive looking? Bootsy is my only family at this point. He's much more important than any trinket. We'll hope you come to visit us again someday. By then, maybe Berea Heart will be back to its former self. When that happens, we'll be sure to take you up on that offer. Missing kitten completed. Okay. So, now the question is, what do we do to find uses? There's gates down here. Oh, that's right. We were supposed to go to the restaurant after we finished the kitten. I knew he'd have information about him eventually. Oh, I see you've all chosen to stop by once again. It seems he was right after all. Who was right? Is it safe to assume that you've been left with a message for us too? Let me out! That's right. I'm not permitted to say who from, unfortunately. Make your way to the airport. Post haste. I shall await you there. That's what I was asked to tell you all. So our next destination is the airport. They must be having fun dragging us all over the place. Doesn't matter who it's from. They're gonna have to head over there, or we're gonna have to head over there to clear things up. Yeah, let's just make sure we're ready before we head out. Oh boy, that doesn't bode well. Alright, let's take a look and see. We have some recipes we can make. Oh, that's right, we got the recipe for fluffy pancakes. I want to cook with Emma because she has a winky
sure,
face.
I'd love to.
And then somebody who has other one to try to get the...
I really hope you'll like it.
Okay, we got the unique one.
Sure, I'd love to.
Let's see if we can get...
I really hope you'll like it.
We got... Let's try 2 with Sharon.
I'll get right to work.
Sorry guys for the delay with the cooking, but it said be prepared.
Culinary work.
Alright, we've got the best one.
Do enjoy.
Alright, we want to make one, a bad one with like Laura.
I could certainly use the practice.
And then we should get the weird one, hopefully.
Not bad.
Nope, we got the normal one. Let's try one fluffy pancake with... Bee has a sad face.
It's Bee's Cooking Power Hour.
Bee's Cooking Power Hour.
You can try eating it if you want.
If you want. Alright, we got all the pancakes now, so now we can do 4 more with Emma.
Sure, I'd love to.
And
It
get
looks great. If I do really hope you'll like it.
supply of stuff. So we have 5 of these we can cook. We've got all of them. So we can do 5
I
with
could
Laura.
certainly use the practice.
It's only the
I'm
ones
proud of this one.
that we need to get. We need the unique one. So we want probably
Sure,
the winky
I'd love
face.
to. This looks like it'll...
I hope this turns out okay.
Somebody's got to
Oh,
get
this looks pretty nice.
glistening soup. Sharon,
I'll get right to work.
I'll get right to work. We've only got 2 more on this one.
Do enjoy.
Okay,
Let's
let's
just
give this a try.
do it by ourselves and see what happens.
There we go.
We got onion soup. Oh no, we can make more than 1 onion soup.
I
Let's
could
try Laura
certainly use
again.
the practice.
I get venomous again.
This is off-putting.
Off-putting.
It's Fee's Cooking Power Hour.
Fee's Cooking Power Hour.
You can try eating it.
Alright, we're back to these
Sure,
guys.
I'd love to.
So funny, Steve.
It
I
looks
keep
great,
getting
if I do say so myself.
I keep getting reminders for on my phone for my calendar for Maggie Monday. And Luna too, if you're still there. I'm just like, it was supposed to be Maggie Monday.
I hope this turns out okay. Oh, this looks pretty nice.
Alright, it does not seem to want to give me the special
I'll
one.
get right to work.
Or unique
This
one.
is some of my finest.
Maybe I don't have the right people to cook it with. I'm gonna do 3 with
Sure,
Emma
I'd love
and
to.
we'll try it again another time.
It looks great if I do.
And we have hot tea. Oh my goodness. Well, we have all the hot teas, so I can cook as many as I can make. Oh, we don't have the special one yet. Or not special. We don't have the winky face yet. How did we not get a winky face on the tea? I think that was Sharon's recipe, wasn't it?
I'll get right to work.
Oh no, I think that was the lady in Nord.
This is some of my finest culinary work. Please, do enjoy.
Okay. Potato croquettes. We have all of those. We can make 8. And we've got a crown, so we'll do
It's
this
Fee's cooking power hour.
with Fee's Cooking Power Hour. And then
Better than
we're done after
expected.
that.
Yay, it's ready.
Alright. Excellent. Save. Alright. I do think I have one errand I want to run before I go to the airport. And I went out. I hate trying to walk around these tables. It's a pain. Alright. I want to run over to the Orban store and see if I have enough Sepith to open any more slots for my stuff. And that's down. Did I pass it? Tailoring? Maybe it was this one. Yes. Okay. Modify slot. Those are all done. So reams are all finished. Now we start with Laura. Yes. Fee. Like I said, it's gonna take forever to get through everybody. To get everybody's stuff unlocked. Alright. Oop. Do that one. Alright, so that's all of them. I don't think we can customize. We already have Braver 2+1. We already have Hyper Claw. Destructive Rod. Alright, so that's for Toval. Precision Blaster, that's for Claire. And we still can't do this one. Let's look and see. I didn't pick up any. I did pick up a little bit of Sepith Mass, not much. Alright, let's see what they have to sell as far as that. Just charges. Oh, that's right, because the guy who sells the ornaments was at the top of the other store. Right, okay. So we're gonna come up here, and before I get to the airport, I'm gonna save again. And the airport's to the right, so let's do a quick save. Because God only knows what's gonna happen to us once we get over there. I didn't check these bridges for a fishing thing. You don't normally get to go near the airport because it usually tells us you can't pass here. Going through here will take us to the airport, right? I don't see any staff around. The precision blaster, yes. You're right. That's probably due to the flight restrictions. The gate looks to be open, just enough for us to enter, too. Should we? Entering the airport will cause the main story to advance. As a result, all unfinished quests will disappear. Enter the airport. I mean, there was the red exclamation point at the top by the house. But I think these things are leading me to that, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I don't know what or who will be waiting for us beyond here. Let's go. Let us see if Eustace is here, or if it's just another person saying how to get to Eustace. Alright, let's look at the map. Aha, airliner. Interesting. So there's not a whole lot around the airport. Ye old airport. Let's go up. Berea Hard Airport arrivals and departures. I can put on my old train voice. So it doesn't give you a choice right now, apparently. It's just going straight to the airship. Well, Berea Airport's as nice as I pictured it being. It's my first time visiting it as well. I suppose this must be an airliner? Yup, it's the kind used in the Empire. I've been aboard them a few times. I've been waiting for you. And who might you be? I was sent here to deliver a message. You see that airship right there? Make your way to the lounge on the 3rd floor post haste, is what I was told. Okay. Well, not like we have any better ideas. Let's go. Yep. Alright, I just want to look. I know it's so silly. I want to speed run out here. Okay. So it's telling us no. Alright, that's fine. I'd rather check and make sure there was not like something out there.
It's a trap!
Yes, it's a trap. I wonder if I can go straight down here. I can. And there's nothing out here. Big surprise. I just don't like not looking. Okay, so he's gonna let us go on board the ship. Alright, so we need to find the 3rd floor lounge.
It's a trap!
It's a trap! I'm leaving on a jet plane. Sorry. This airship is massive. Indeed, although it naturally couldn't hope to compare to the Courageous in terms of size. We were instructed to go to the 3rd floor lounge, but please stay on guard. There's no telling who the person calling us is, or what they have in mind. Right. That's right, it could be Rufus luring us into a trap. So this is the boarding gate, and this is the bridge. Probably the place we don't want to be right now. And I don't know if there's like... Just looking around. Because sometimes when I've been places, there's boxes you can break open and things. Alright. Boarding gate. Boarding gate. Hangar. Lounge deck. Okay, it's the other direction. Lounge. I think this is the 3rd floor lounge. Should we go straight inside? I just worry when it says... Should we prepare before we go?
You certainly took your time.
Aha! There he is. Eureka, yes.
Eustace!
Eustace!
I suspected it was you.
We hoped it was you. Eustace Alberea.
How long did you intend to make me wait? I have wondered whether you would even bother to show up.
I think that's partly your fault for making us go through all that trouble to get to you.
There are eyes everywhere in this city. It would have drawn too much attention for you to come here directly. That was just my way of looking out for you. Perhaps you could try thanking me.
At least you're well. That's what matters. It really is great to see you again, Eustace.
The same to you. I'm impressed you were able to overcome the many ordeals you've no doubt faced to make it this far. But should I be surprised, I wonder? I've always had high expectations of you.
I doubt I would have been able to come this far if not for everyone's help, though. Still, thanks, Eustace.
This means that all of Class 7 is finally together again.
Hooray! Okay, I have to pause just for 1 second, and I have to come over, and where's he at? He's down here, and I'm gonna move him up here by the rest of the guys. We have Eustace! Okay. Eustace is on the sidebars, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Hee. This means that
And
all
I
class
couldn't
7
be
is
more
together.
overwhelmed with joy.
Yay!
Congratulations, everyone.
We did it!
Thank you so much. You've been a tremendous part of making this happen. Thank you, Sharon.
I haven't the foggiest idea what Sharon is doing here, but I suppose it doesn't matter right now.
Sharon's a badass. That's what Sharon's doing here.
Eustace?
I've been kept abreast of your activities through the Noble Alliance's information network. So I'm well aware you've been fighting their forces across the land using that ash-colored knight of yours. As well as the fact that you've chosen not to ally yourselves with the Imperial Army, but instead fight as a third faction.
Oh, has word of Valimar been getting around that much?
Well, I'm pretty sure it has. Yeah.
That said, I didn't arrange for us to meet like this just to see one another again.
I'm coming with you.
I did so that I could make the difference between our respective positions crystal clear.
What do you mean?
I see. You have no intention of coming with us, do you?
What?
This is a joke, right?
You surely saw this coming. I'm the son of one of the most influential figures in the Noble Alliance. And as I imagine you're already aware, I've been assisting him and his provincial army in fighting this war.
Well, we know, but
Is this what you believe to be your duty as a noble?
Meanwhile, my brother is acting as the Alliance Force's chief of staff. And as for my father, he was responsible for hiring Jaegers to attack Ymir, which is not only your home, but the home of all the kind-hearted people who welcomed me with open arms earlier in the year. I can only apologize. No, I don't even have the right to do that much. Yet with that in mind, it should be clear that we can't go back to the way things were.
Feeling an Emma situation happening here. I must leave. I'm, all these bad things, and they're gonna convince me he needs to stay.
The gulf between us is simply too vast to be filled. Our paths have parted. That is reality.
This can't be the only way.
It doesn't have to be like this, Eustace.
I will guarantee you safe passage out of the city. If you deem it necessary, I can even have you escorted out by car. However, once you're out, we can no...
Eustace. I can understand why you feel somewhat responsible for what happened in Ymir. I can understand why you, as an Alberea, feel as though certain things are inherently expected of you. Actually, I should probably tell you that Dad woke up the other day. All that's left is for him to get his stamina back now. He'll make a full recovery.
That's good news. I would have liked to pay him a visit myself, but...
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm not telling you that to make you feel guilty. I'm telling you because I don't want that to be your reason for what you're doing.
Pardon?
What I want to know is what you want to do, and the path you want to take. If you want to help your family because you agree with the ideals of the Noble Alliance, I won't stop you. But if that's not what you want to do, if you're only helping because you feel like you have to for whatever reason, if you're doing it because you feel responsible for what happened to my dad, which, by the way, you aren't, or if you're doing it because as much as you want to come with us, you feel like you don't have the right to, then you're nothing more than a coward who's running away. And I don't believe that's how a real Erebonian noble should act.
Boy.
They should do what they believe is right, and do it with pride. If Dad was here now, he'd say the same thing.
Reen? That's kind of harsh.
We're only students, still learning more about the world around us. Alone, we don't have the experience or knowledge to go around proposing solutions to the conflicts in this country. Not to the war going on around us, nor to the class divides that started it. But that's alone, and that's why I think we all need to come together as a class again. We're all inexperienced, but we all come from different backgrounds and social standings, and we each have unique experiences to share. It's only by pulling those together that we can overcome whatever life throws at us. It's worked for us during every one of our field studies. Why wouldn't it work now?
He's right, Eustace.
Indeed. Reen had to remind me of that too, you know.
Bullseye.
It's always nerve-wracking for those of us who have to watch you pull crazy stunts all the time, I hope you know.
It certainly is.
I see my suspicions were dead on. No matter the circumstances, you've always been the one to blow away my hesitations.
Then you'll come with us?
Still, no matter what you say, I am an Alborea, and as such I have duties and responsibilities to fulfill. If you are determined not to back down, then we will have to settle this with a duel.
Really, Eustace?
Just as you and Crow did 1 month ago.
A duel?
Follow me, Reen. Our destination is Aurochs Canyon.
Oh my.
There we shall settle this matter once and for all.
Really? Really? And who have we here? A new person.
Well, well, I wasn't counting on this. I'd only intended to gather information on the Crimson Wings, and yet here I am, bearing witness to such a compelling scene. I've no duty to report anything I see to Duke Alborea, but I suppose there isn't any harm in watching how things unfold.
Who is this?
Whatever. Do what you want. I don't care. I'll just go kill time in town or something.
Oh no, not this time. You're coming with me and that's that. I'm here to support you, not babysit you. You're the one with a number, not me. Try acting like it.
Fine, fine. What a pain. There's a familiar face among them, so this might not be a total waste of time.
Oh boy. No Sharon. Since he's one of the Ouroboros, apparently. Alright, well at least it poofed us to Aurochs Canyon path. We have the orbital bike and a horse. Oh, we're gonna race.
Isn't this Angelica's bike?
I thought she entrusted it to you after she withdrew, Reen.
What in the world is it doing here?
I made use of my family's influence to have it brought here from the academy.
Of course he did.
Since then, it's been left in the hands of a skilled mechanic, so it's been well maintained. You will be riding that for our duel.
Speaking of that, I wonder where George is. Thank you for the Trixies, Steve.
You mean our duel will be a race between me on this bike and you on that horse?
Partially. The finish line will be the plateau where we fought that monster during our field study.
Boy.
Once there, we shall begin a sword fight to determine the victor.
Seriously?
Whoever arrives first will therefore have the advantage of more time to prepare.
Oh, we did stuff like that back in the Corps too. We called them chase battles. You had to make good use of the terrain to win.
Yep.
That does sound quite similar to what I had in mind.
Okay, I understand what we're going to do.
Oh
so if I
boy.
win, you're coming with us, right?
Apparently, yeah.
You're not backing out?
Correct. In the unlikely event that you defeat me, I will concede and go with you. But know this, I have absolutely no intention of holding back. That bike of yours may have the advantage in terms of speed, but I know this area like the back of my hand. Do not expect this to be an easy battle.
Oh, I won't. I'll be coming at you with all I've got.
I would expect no less.
They're way too fired up about this.
We'll have to simply stand aside and see what unfolds.
Excuse me.
Right. We'll go and take up places along the course to watch. In that case, I will signal when to begin. Rest assured, I wouldn't dream of giving either party an unfair advantage.
That works for me. How about you, Eustace?
Very well.
Very well.
Let's begin.
Oh gosh, I was gonna say, are they gonna give me a reminder? They waved goodbye to Emma and Laura as they went to take up positions along the course. And after Reen took a moment to refamiliarize himself with the orbital bike's controls, the time came for the race to begin.
Here we go.
Go get him.
I won't
Yeah,
let you down.
you're not gonna remind me of the controls? It's been like a whole game. Okay, thank you. RB is accelerate, LB is hold, and then turn. Okay.
I'm ready, Eustace.
As am I. Now demonstrate to me the strength of your resolve.
All right. Take your positions, please. 3, 2, 1. Begin!
Oh no, it won't let me look at the map. I was gonna try to look at the map.
Good luck, you two.
Oh, and of course, that was bad.
Go, go!
I'm trying.
Take a left here.
Use this path here. Everyone's really into this.
AP increased by 2. Phew, I didn't think I was gonna make that on the first try. Or at least not first.
Yes, I won.
I mean, did Eustace really think that his horse was gonna beat a motorcycle?
Your performance was admirable, I'll admit.
Wish you could do it again, like the snowboarding.
The advantage is mine, Eustace. Let's settle this once and for all.
Oh boy.
No matter. A handicap like this will hardly pose a problem for me. Come at me, Reen.
Let's do this.
Come at me with all you have.
My turn.
I don't even get to. Oh.
Now's our chance. Don't let it pass.
Okay, so we kind of did the same thing, sort of.
My turn. Too slow.
What?
Here I go.
Really? You're gonna do it again to get the S-Craft?
Ashen flames gather
On my blade. Yeah, I was gonna say, I just put him on the screen. Don't make me take him back off.
What?
Bye.
This isn't.
Eustace,
Okay,
you can't
it's
even
safe for now.
try. Sorry. I wasn't messing around with you. You're coming with us. Too bad, so sad.
Looks like I win this one.
Aww.
I should have expected no less. It's hard to believe how much your swordsmanship has improved in such a short period of time.
Don't sell yourself short, Eustace. If I'd held back even a little, I'd be the one kneeling on the ground right now. Your skills really shone through, both in the race and our duel.
I can't pretend to have held back either. The victory is well and truly yours, Reen.
Reen! Eustace!
Are you both all right?
Oh, hey guys.
Reen! Eustace!
Looks
That
like
guy's
we've
just
got a
like,
winner.
oh, hey guys. Excuse me.
The verdict should be plainly obvious.
Yeah, I managed to scrape through. It was pretty close though.
Was it?
No.
Does that mean you'll come back with us?
I fought with all my might. I performed to the very best of my abilities, holding nothing back. And even then, I couldn't compare to your strength and resolve. With that, I have no more reservations. The path I should take is the same as yours.
About time.
Welcome back, Eustace.
We're happy to have you with us, of course. We'll find the answers we seek together. And together, we'll bring Crow back too.
Will we? Will we really?
You can count on me. Starting today, I am a member of Class 7 once again. I'll show my father and brother just how I believe one bearing the name Alberea should live.
Good for you, Eustace.
I feel embarrassed just watching you two.
There's nothing to feel embarrassed about. This is just part of how we are as a class.
There are some things you learn only by directly confronting those you care about.
Mm-hmm.
I know this much from experience.
Mm-hmm.
You and I both know a thing or two about that, don't we, Fee?
Sure do.
Congratulations on reuniting nearly everyone in Class 7.
Now, for Sarah.
I suppose now is the best time to start thinking about what to do next.
I wouldn't celebrate your paltry victory just yet.
Oh boy.
Who was that?
Up there.
Mm-hmm. That's why she looked different, because she didn't have on
Who are
normal
they?
clothes.
One of them is wearing armor.
Oh dear.
Armored girl.
Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. I'm afraid I've come to thoroughly put a damper on your reunion. I hope...
She
Oops.
knows us?
Just who are you?
Well, at least one among you should already be familiar with me. But it wouldn't hurt to introduce myself for the benefit of the others. I am a lady after all.
I am a lady after all. Duvali?
My name is Duvali.
Or Duvali, okay. Duvali.
I'm the head knight of the Stahlritter, an esteemed group led by Ouroboros' 7th Anguis in all her glory. And it is by her order that I have come here today.
You're with Ouroboros?
So the Steel Maiden sent you, did she?
Ugh, looks like our luck just ran out.
Might I ask if the Stahlritter is somehow related to the Eisenritter? The name is eerily similar. Even their only difference in name is related, with iron and steel being two metals.
Oh, You're the Arseid, aren't you?
You're the Arseid.
Are you curious? I'll bet you are.
Who wouldn't be?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Of course you're not.
Pardon?
Does it bug you? Does it? Your curiosity is going to build and eat away at you until you can't even sleep at night. Sucks to be you.
Is she really with Ouroboros?
I'm not quite that curious. I wouldn't want to pressure you into discussing something you aren't comfortable sharing.
Hold on a minute. There's no point in pretending you don't care. I know full well you do.
She doesn't act like it, but there's no doubting she's extremely powerful.
Indeed, she may not be an enforcer, but not for lack of skill. Although the power of the man beside her is even more frightening.
Leaving that aside for the moment, I've already introduced myself. It's only proper for you to do... Ugh! Why are you still up there? Get down here right this instant!
What do you need me for? You can handle him just fine yourself.
Oh, for goodness sake! You're supposed to be number one! Would it kill you to even put the tiniest bit of effort into your job?
Number one?
And he's an enforcer just like Sharon and Phantom Thief B.
Oh boy.
Indeed, I happen to be number 9. An enforcer's number is not in any way indicative of their combat prowess, but by coincidence, his may actually be so. He's easily among the strongest in Ouroboros. Perhaps even the strongest.
Oh boy.
Never tried fighting steel to see which one of us gets the top spot, though. That race before was kind of fun to watch, so let's see what you got.
That was like a vampire move right there, that little... McBurn, huh?
The name's McBurn. Some call me the Almighty Conflagration. And talk is cheap. I hate conversations that just drag on and on. So let's skip to the good part, okay?
The power radiating from him is incredible.
What are those flames?
Shall we begin? My swift swordsmanship was taught to me by my illustrious lord, the Steel Maiden. And you haven't a chance in hell of withstanding it.
I've gone to the trouble of coming down here. Do me a favor and try lasting a minute before you call it quits.
Whoa.
Your arrogance will be your undoing.
Give them everything you've got.
Of course!
Don't die too easy on me now.
Now, draw your weapons.
Here I go.
Well, it's not ideal.
Here goes! Overdrive!
Yeah!
Okay.
Very well.
I just have to look at Sharon's because I haven't. I mean, I've used her, but not as much as the others, so.
Now! Let's go, everyone!
Let's go. There's the hiccups.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Oh dear.
Very well.
Okay. We've got Eustace. And I don't know what he has compared to before.
Now's our chance. Don't let it pass. Leave it to me.
Onward!
And the problem with this is I'm gonna have to swap somebody out for one of my healers at some point. So that's gonna be a tricky prospect.
My turn.
May I?
My turn.
Nice. I got it on a critical too.
Strike!
How are you still standing?
With pleasure.
Onward!
Very well.
I'll handle this.
Everybody's too far away. Jubilee.
Now.
An opening!
All right, Laura.
How about some of this?
How about some of this?
Behold the might of the Arcade School! Radiant Waltz!
Nice.
Come on.
This is impossible!
Okay, she's down.
Here I go.
All right, crafts. Oh, he can't use leaf cutter. I don't think any of these things have impede. But I can impassion himself, and hopefully somebody else gets a turn.
Very well.
All right, Sharon. Suction, seal, area, heals all, shadow stitch. Wow, he has
This won't take
200,000.
long.
Come on.
Shadow stick.
Huh. Eat this.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh my god,
Could I?
My
that was
turn.
unexpected.
Come on.
Very well. Huh.
You have my thanks.
Because she's still burning. I just need her to stay up long enough to swap her
How
out.
naughty.
Come on.
How naughty! I love.
Strong enough.
Look at that.
Burn to ash.
Could I?
Is this a not winnable battle? Like the Jaegers? Apparently.
Man, is that really what you call everything you got?
This can't be happening.
How can they be so strong?
I've never fought anyone so strong in my life. Not by a long shot.
I didn't expect we would have a chance against him head on.
Yeah, that's true. Whiskey. Yeah, and then Sharon went down. I was gonna S-craft her and then bring in Fee and then swap out Eustace for one of my healers, and just didn't get to do any of that, unfortunately.
We were able to knock that knight down at least.
Ugh, I can't believe I lost to mere students.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, one of them had to be an Arseid. This is so humiliating!
Oh, give me a break. Were you even trying?
Okay.
I thought you beat Louve once. Hard to believe with that sorry side of a fight.
I did. Granted, he won the other 99 or so battles. And I was! I simply slipped, that's all.
Yeah, you slipped. Yeah, that's why I was like, this is one probably like that first fight against the Jaeger Corps. Like, you know, you just know you're not going to be able to win it. Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't think it was possible.
Hmm? Interesting.
Interesting what?
You mixed by any chance?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. If you haven't noticed yourself, I'm not gonna be the one to tell you. If you haven't, it's probably not much anyway.
Huh? What do you...
Anyway, I'm out of here. You can take care of handing him over to the Duke.
You can't possibly be serious! You won't help even a teensy bit? It's a little much to handle all by myself.
Nah, I'm tired of this already. Maybe if one of them could seriously give me a run for my Mira, I'd consider it, but...
One run for your Mira coming right up.
Oh, here's Sarah.
Huh? It couldn't be.
It is.
She finally made it.
It's Sarah! Now they are truly together. And who the hell cares about Crow?
Where did that come from?
Bolt. Frickin' vile betrayer.
Nice.
Looks like I was right to hurry. I wasn't expecting to find you fighting monsters of this caliber.
Monsters? Oh, you know what? I gotta say I have missed Sarah and her humor.
Your instructor, Sarah?
No, not Sarah. Sarah Valenstein.
Sorry for the wait. But don't you worry your pretty little heads none. Now that I'm here, I won't let them lay a finger on you. How could I call myself your homeroom teacher if I did?
Thanks.
You're the Purple Lightning, aren't you?
Huh.
Yep.
Hey, I've heard of you.
What's Sarah doing here?
I don't know what to say.
Was this your doing, Eustace?
I used a secret channel to contact her. She was to be our insurance if things took a turn for the worse.
Really?
I'm delighted to see that you're well, Lady Sarah.
Thanks, I guess. Still, looks like you've been fighting some of your old pals for the sake of my kids. And I can give credit where it's due. Thanks.
Ugh. Do you seriously want to keep fighting? Surely you don't believe you'll win because you're an A-rank bracer.
You ask me, this is more like it. Not like there are any towns nearby I can burn down, so maybe it's time I stopped holding back.
Stay away from him.
Those are just like...
Hold on a moment! I know I said I wanted help, but I'd rather you didn't set me on fire in the process.
That's excellent.
What the devil are you doing up there?
Oh no.
The hell?
Daddy?
That sounds like...
Yep. Daddy.
Isn't that Duke Alberea?
Father? Arno?
Lord Eustace.
Eustace, what is the meaning of this? You dare to leave a letter like that and simply disappear? Have you gone mad?
The opposite, in fact.
Letter?
Hey, Duke, you mind staying out of this? I was getting all fired up there before you came and ruined everything.
Literally.
Silence! This has nothing to do with you. I will not stand for behavior like this, Eustace. You will do as I say.
Nice try.
Your selfish actions will smear mud on the good Alberea name. Is that what you want?
My intentions are as I outlined in the contents of that letter. I intend to walk my own path with my classmates at my side. I have no wish to dirty the Alberea name. On the contrary, I wish to find for myself how I should live as one who bears it.
Eustace.
What is this drivel? I always knew what a mistake it was to accept you into this family. Come forth, Knights of Kreutzen!
Oh boy, here comes trouble.
I get the feeling
These
Valamar's
must be the
coming soon.
soldats from Oryx Fort.
I don't recognize that one either. It must be a new model.
Heavily armored soldat Hector.
Yeah, there goes any interest I had left. Have a blast. See ya.
Why must you always be so indifferent?
It's a nice skill to have.
Reen,
Right.
Looks like it's your turn to shine.
then
Are you gonna call
Valimar.
Valimar?
No matter the results, we can't turn back. Take care, Master Reen.
Can I get a safe spot
Heed
before we
my
do this?
Valimar, the Ashen Knight!
Acknowledged.
At least I'm getting fairly adept at these robot battles.
An ash-colored knight? Huh. So that's the foul fiend that caused trouble for the soldiers from the Twin Dragons Bridge.
Yep.
Oh, so that's the Ashen Knight?
The very same great knight that fought near Trista at that.
and I can sense even more mana coming from it now than I could then.
Its form is most impressive.
And there they go. The giant robot.
Go forth, my knights! With them in our custody, the top spot in the Alliance is as good as mine. Show them the terrifying strength of the newest addition to our army!
Yes, Your Grace!
Guess we'll see how this turns out.
That one looks tough. Heavily armored, too. But I'm sure Valimar can take it.
Right! Let's do this! I'm counting on you, Valimar!
Understood.
Understood.
All right, you ready?
Okay, so we've got Fee. Okay. So...
How careless!
Okay.
Alright, so our B is swap.
Good luck.
Bring in Elliot.
I'll try at least.
Allison EP.
Let me!
Gotcha!
Okay. Let me!
Oh, I meant to do EP and I did the other one by accident.
Burn to ash! Fall! Now! Gotcha! Time!
Right. Here!
Nice. We definitely needed that.
Gotcha! Gotcha! Now! Gotcha! Time!
Nice.
It's working. Keep it up.
It's my turn. Let me!
Gotcha!
Okay.
Okay. Here.
Okay.
Gotcha!
Starting to stop talking there for a minute. I was just
Let's go! Gotcha! Time!
involved and wrapped into this battle here and completely was drawn in. Wow. Okay, so now that I've charged the EP, we're gonna have to heal Valimar.
Right.
Alright, so this is recovery.
Let me!
Crafts. And this has impede.
That's it. Just a little more.
Right. Let me.
Burn to ash. Now, my sword will cleave open the way.
My sword will cleave open the way.
Light domination.
Nice. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Elliot, you need to EP charge. And then you need to impede again.
Curse you.
Curse you.
Great, just one more.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let me.
Heal Valimar.
Gotcha.
It's working.
It's my
Keep it
turn.
up.
Here.
Okay. It's going pretty well.
Gotcha.
There we go. I was like, we haven't gotten a slash yet. So we should be getting a finisher soon.
Right. Huh.
Oof. There you go.
You didn't do half bad that time.
Nice. So much for your fancy soldats. Ha 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 ha.
This can't be happening. How could our new soldat be defeated?
Damn you.
You think he's ready, Celine?
He should be.
He should be. Let's go, guys. Back to Ymir.
Reen,
Give us a hand, Emma! We're going to open the spirit path!
right.
I like her staff. Her staff is cool.
A transportation spell?
Time to make our escape.
Wait! Eustace! You can't leave like this. I won't allow it.
Like you can stop it.
Farewell for now, Father. Please give my regards to Rufus as well. It is my dearest wish that you won't repeat the mistake you made with Ymir a second time. Arno, might I ask you to return the horse I borrowed to the mansion?
As you wish, Lord Eustace.
Wait! Wait, I say! That is an order, Eustace!
I don't think Eustace gives a flying you know what about your orders. To the Batcave! Yes. Yes, Whiskey. To the Batcave. With the last of Class 7 found, they left Berea hard. But even with all of them finally together, their feelings remained mixed. Their reunion itself was a reason for joy, and yet each of them was left with a nasty sense of foreboding at the forefront of their minds. They were face to face with the Alliance's leading generals, as well as a newer, more powerful kind of soldat. That, along with the realization of just how powerful Ouroboros' enforcers could be, left them with happiness and fear in equal measure. Guided by Valimar, they made their way back to Ymir. Woohoo! Got Eustace and Sarah. Eustace and Sarah. Now we get to go join with everybody else in town, while Valimar recharges. Well, we're back. Sorry for overworking you like that, Valimar. That is not a concern. With every battle that is overcome, my operational efficiency increases. Oh, that's nice to know. This is a sign that you, too, are growing, my Awakener. Me? I will return to a state of inactivity. Should you require me, you need only to call my name. Ahaha, looks like he fell asleep. We should let him rest for a while. Eustace? Eustace? Are you sure you're okay with leaving things that way? With your dad, I mean. I made my decision. I've no regrets. And now that I've made it, I intend to always look forward, not backwards. Aww. Not like this means you'll never see him again. My, you've all matured so much since I last saw you. I couldn't be prouder. They've all gone through so much to come this far. So it seems. Who's that? Everybody else. Oh, and they brought the bike! The Orbital bike? Was it transported here along with us? Well, it was fairly close by. It must have been drawn into the spirit path. That's funny. So now we can ride the Orbital bike and we can snowboard. Sweet. Eustace and Sarah join the party. They can now use Overdrive when linked with one another. Same thing with Reen and Sarah. Toval and Sarah can now use Overdrive when linked with one another. Now that all of Class 7 has assembled, the number of Overdrive icons in battle has increased to 2. Interesting. This will allow you to save up a second Overdrive for later use. Excellent. These can be used immediately, one after another, too, allowing for new strategic possibilities. Here we are in Ymir. Yeah, Angie smiles in the distance. That's right, Whiskey.
Welcome home, Reen. I see you were able to find the rest of your classmates.
Yeah, this is everyone.
It sure wasn't easy, but we managed.
I'm just glad we made it back in one piece.
Yeah, me too.
The last part was definitely the biggest pain.
Indeed.
Regardless, we wouldn't have been able to make it here if not for you all coming to find us. Thank you.
And naturally, that goes for you too, Celine.
Yeah, whatever.
It's great to see you guys again.
The winds must have been on your side.
It sounds like there was some trouble along the way, but you came back, and that's all that matters. I can't say I'm surprised to find you're in good health, though. Ill weeds grow apace, after all.
Oh, God.
I could say the same about you. Given how useless you are at anything you can't learn from a book, part of me expected we would next meet with you behind bars.
Again.
It hasn't even been 30 damn seconds and I already want to kill you.
Okay.
Okay, my turn!
Yeah. Oh, nice dodge, Eustace.
Why'd you move out of the way?
Because you were trying to hug me, obviously.
Oh, Ulysses wins.
Oh, come on.
Twice.
You know you want to.
While I'd expected you to come back with your classmates, I didn't think you'd come back with Sarah, too. Not that anything had ever happened to you, of all people.
Thanks.
I guess.
Certainly has gotten lively around here.
It sure has. You're looking a lot better, Dad.
I'm still a ways from being back to my old self, but I'm finding it a lot easier to walk around. Toval and Captain Claire have kindly been handling both the village's security and correspondence with the other regions, which means I can focus on my health.
We're not doing anything special, really.
We're just glad that you've been getting better.
That's not true at all. You've done so much for us, I don't even know where to begin thanking you. And Reen, I want you to know that we're both so proud of what you've accomplished. It couldn't have been easy coming this far, but you did it. You should hold your head high.
Yes, you should.
Thanks, Mom.
Good job,
I wouldn't
Reen.
have been able to do any of it alone. It was only possible because everyone was with me.
Well, I think we've been standing out here long enough. I've had rooms prepared for you all at the Phoenix Wing, so go ahead and rest there.
Oh, nice.
Isn't that where we stayed during our last visit?
That's the one. I imagine you must all be exhausted after all that's transpired in the past few days.
The open-air bath's finally been repaired, too. If you get the chance, you should enjoy a nice, relaxing bath after all your hard work.
Okay. Save. Continue. Thus they left for the Phoenix Wings to recover from the exhaustion that had built up over the past few days. Yeah, none at all. Thanks to the manager's kindness, they had the building largely to themselves, so they enjoyed a relaxing dinner and soak in the springs. And after agreeing that they would discuss what to do next the following afternoon, they returned to their rooms to sleep. Oh, okay. Thanks, Whiskey. I appreciate it. It's so peaceful tonight. Everyone's probably fast asleep by now. We might have all spent our time apart in different ways, all with different things on our minds. But now we're finally back together as a class. It wasn't easy getting this far, but we have one less thing to worry about now. And I owe it all to Elise's support and encouragement. It's thanks to her that I've been able to make it this far. Hang in there, Elise. I'll bring you and Princess Alphen back safely, I promise. And when I do, I'll be sure to thank you again for giving me all I needed to come as far as I have. We still have to sit down and discuss what we're going to do from here on out, too. Can we even figure something like that out by tomorrow? I've got to bring at least some ideas to the table. But what? I'm happy we're together again. But we've got a lot to decide about our future. And it's something we need to decide as a team. Everyone's had their own challenges to face and problems to conquer, but each of them faced what they were given head on. We ended up apart, but no one lost hope. Instead, everyone tried to make the best out of the circumstances they were dealt. Thinking back on our reunions, I think the one who left the strongest impression was... Damn. I know you said it doesn't matter, but geez Louise. I have to do it. I think it would have to be Elisa. Yeah, I know, but she blamed herself more than anyone about how we parted ways in Trista. I could see how worried she was for me. Even now, I'm sure she's worried about her mother and the Rhineford Company. But she's still putting everyone else first, just like she always does. She did all she could to bring us together again. It's either going to be her or Laura. So, since I've already continued with the Elisa arc, I figured I would just go that way. I wish I could be like her. I wish I could be that strong.
Rain, are you there?
Elisa! I didn't think anyone else would come here so late at night. Sorry, I'll get out now.
There's no need to shout. I actually already knew that you were here. I'd asked the manager beforehand. So I thought now might be a good time to talk with you.
Pardon?
There's really nothing like a warm bath on a cold winter's day. Gazing up at the night sky, feeling the warmth of the spring coursing through your whole body, this is such bliss.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's my favorite time of year to relax in the springs, too. But both of us bathing in here together is really, really not a good idea. Doesn't it bother you even a little? The two of us here alone feels kind of... I don't know.
What's the big deal? I'm covered up, aren't I? I'd appreciate it if you didn't stare so hard, though. I might have managed to pluck up the courage to come in here, but it's still kind of embarrassing.
Well...
Yes, I only came here with my sister. Oh, that's funny.
I wasn't doing it on purpose. Sorry. But what made you need to pluck up the courage to come in here to begin with? You said you wanted to talk. Anything in particular?
Well,
And let's not look at each other while we're talking either.
You.
Thank me? Thank me for what? I don't feel like I've done anything that warrants being thanked.
You have, though. And for everything, really. I wanted to thank you for surviving all this time so that we could meet again. And I wanted to thank you for coming all the way to Nord to get me. Maybe we can't be here with Crow, but because of you, the rest of us are back together again.
Because of me? That's not true. Besides, it was only because of you guys that I was able to do anything at all.
I knew you'd say that. Still, I feel like Class 7 is what it is because you're at its center. We had faith that you get back up on your feet and fight, and it's because you followed through that we've come this far. I'm not the only one who feels that way either. So, thank you, Reen.
Oh,
come on! Knock it off with the laughing! It wasn't easy to come here and say all of this, you know.
I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at you. It just finally hit home that everything Elise said was true. I had no idea that everyone was thinking of me as much as they were, or that so many people were looking out for me. It just made me realize all over again how blind I've been all this time. So I couldn't help but laugh at myself.
Well, I can accept that. And now that you know, I don't want you to ever forget it.
Aww.
We've been through so much together, Reen. We have a bond so strong, nothing can ever break it.
Don't worry, I won't forget. And now that Class 7 is together again, I'm sure we'll be able to go back to the academy one day. As long as we don't give up, I know we can make that a reality. So, let's give it everything we've got.
Of course.
Of course. Free day in Ymir? Your bond with Elisa strengthened. Ymir rest day 3. See what kind of tasks I can get involved with today, in addition to snowboarding, fishing, and monster killing. Something to do with the kids, probably, and something to do with cooking, possibly. Okay, our meeting in the Phoenix Wings cafeteria isn't until this afternoon, which means I got plenty of time to figure out what we can do beforehand. Maybe it'd help to ask the others about what's on their minds, too. Yeah, sounds like a plan. We received bonding points. This time Laura, Emma, Eustace, and Sarah have 2 bonding events each that can be viewed instead of 1. Talking to one of these characters after viewing their first bonding event will allow you to view their second. Interesting. Alright, so somebody's over here. Elisa. What are you doing in here, Elisa? Your mother told me I could find some tools in here, so here I am. I need them for the work I'm going to be doing on the Orbital bike. Wait, you know how the bike works well enough to do that? Well, an engine's an engine, right? I should be able to tinker with it. After all, Angelica's done for us. I at least want to make sure she gets her precious bike back in top condition. Might be nice if I gave her a hand. Well, they gave her a bonding event at the spa, so I'm gonna say no. And we've got the parents in the other room. I guess I should go talk to them really quickly, just in case there's like something. Oh, it's the priest. His recovery is coming along nicely, but the battle isn't over yet. He still needs to rest as much as he can. There's no medicine more effective than time. Oop. Father Bernard is always so dependable when it comes to medical care. I feel like I'm back to my old self again, which means it's about time I got out of bed and returned to business as usual. I'd strongly advise against that. You still need rest. And while I'm sure you're feeling out of shape from all the bed rest, I'd also advise against going out hunting. But when can I go out hunting again? Your injuries were so great, we could have lost you. For peace of mind, I'd like to keep an eye on your condition for another week. A whole week? Well, if I must. His passion for hunting is still as strong as ever, I see. But where are we going next? Heimdall? Nah, that seems kind of... maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Not really sure. Back trying to get another way into Trista? Don't know. I didn't expect Sarah to just show up either. I thought we were gonna have to go hunt for her. First floor. There's one person over here. Sharon? No, Mother. You'll be meeting with your classmates today, yes? Yeah, there are a few things we need to cover before going forward. Plus, we need to talk about Elise and the princess, too. That determination in your eyes is so like your father's. No matter what path you choose to follow, always know that you have our support. Just remember to take care of yourself, alright? I will, I promise. Alright. And we've got Fee and the doggy. This dog's named Badeau, right? He's so cute. Yeah, Dad raised him to be a hunting dog. Believe it or not, he's a sweetie, though. Looks like a smart one to me. Petting him's pretty relaxing, too. I'll stay with him for a bit while I think about what we should do. Come to think of it, it's just about feeding time. Yes, we will bond with Fee. Want to help me feed him? Sure, I'd like that. Be right back. I've got to go get his food. How's that taste? Good? Woof. Huh, look, he's wagging his tail. Sorry for not being able to spare much time for you and Arthur Badeau. Woof woof. He says it's okay. Smart doggy. Can you understand what dogs are saying or something? No, I'm just guessing based on how he acts and barks. Back in the Corps, I used to look after the military monsters a lot. Really? That sounds like an awfully dangerous job for you to be doing. Well, I did get bitten sometimes, at first. Ha ha ha, feeding time. That was a good one, Whiskey. But after one of the other caretakers showed me what to do, they stopped. Don't you talk about your time there? It's hard to believe the Jaeger Corps you were in was one of the strongest. Is Zephyr unusual by Jaeger standards? I guess. The boss was pretty easygoing, but it was always hard to tell what he was thinking. You remember what I told you at Mater Park, right? How they taught me survival skills and all that? Zeno and Leo taught me how to set traps and the art of close quarters combat. I can't imagine what it must have been like living that kind of life day to day. But it's easier to see how you came to think of them as family. Yeah, we were family. Until they all left me behind after the boss died. I just want to know why. Why they all had to leave me behind. And now that I might have a chance to, I don't want to let it pass me by. Even if it won't be easy getting it out of them. Still. Aww. Joe likes Fee. I think I understood what he was saying this time. Try not to overthink it. Something along those lines. There's no reason you need to try and find out alone. Not when you've got all of us with you. If that's what you want to know, well, I'll make it work out. You will? You're right. How could things not work out when I've got you guys? Your bond with Fee strengthened. Link level 4. So do I still get the normal 2 is my question. Because they said bonding events and then several of them had 2. I still want to talk to Zeno and Leo about why they left me behind. But being part of Class 7 is more important to me now. As long as I stay with you, I know I'll get my chance. Lord Tio's condition improving has no doubt caused Arthur to perk up as well. He truly loves his master, I can tell you that. I'll have to be sure to keep him well brushed for when Lord Tio is fit to ride him again. Oh, controller's disconnecting again. Reconnect it. There we go. Here's Laura. Even the air here feels clean. It's not hard to see why Yun Kafai is so fond of this village. I hope that I'll get the chance to bring Father and Klaus here one day. We'd be happy to have them. And don't worry, I'm sure you'll have plenty of chances once the war's over. I hope so. I suppose it's another reason for us to hasten its conclusion. I'm still at a loss as to how, though. What should we do, I wonder? She's definitely racking her brain over this. Maybe a break would do her good. Why don't we go somewhere and take a break? It's good to take a breather sometimes when you're stuck on a difficult problem. That sounds reasonable. In that case, I'd like to ask you a favor. Would you escort me to your room? What? I've got 6 points. Nice. Yeah, right? So this is your bedroom. The decor has something of an Eastern feel to it, fitting for a former student of Yun Kafai's. Is there anything here that's particularly representative of the Eight Leaves School? I should have known. You caught me off guard when you asked to see my room, but it figures that's what you were interested in. Why would you be surprised? Oh, it's nothing. As for your question, I don't have all that much, I'm afraid. Wait, actually I have some tea leaves Master Kafai gave to Dad a while back, I think. How about it? You up for having some green tea? Really? I'd like that very much. This has quite a refined taste indeed. It isn't my first time tasting green tea. Monica let me sample the tea served at her class tea house during the festival, but this seems to have more depth to its flavor and fragrance. Master Kafai is a huge fan of this kind, apparently. He brought it back from the East himself. He's always bringing gifts whenever he comes to visit, so he's popular among the locals. Everyone here likes him. Really now? I've yet to have the opportunity to meet him in person, but I can easily see why he and Father get along so well. Would you happen to know where he is now? Nope, afraid not. That letter I received from him during our vacation here didn't specify. Excuse me. He's always been something of a vagrant. He wanders the continent throughout the year, stopping off wherever he pleases. Okay, Steve, thanks. So while I couldn't tell you where he is, I'm sure he's just fine. Imagine so. If rumor is to be believed, he's as proficient with the blade as Father, if not more so. Are you worried about your dad? I am. I try to avoid admitting it publicly, but it's a fact. His skill is as immense as ever, but given the various new weapons that have come into play during this war, along with other powerful warriors such as General Aurelia and that knight from Ouroboros, yeah, I can't blame you for being a little concerned under the circumstances. Still, all we can do in the meantime is keep going and do what we're able. So as long as we keep that up, I'm sure we'll be reunited with them in due time. Maybe. No, you're right. In a sense, this is but another trial we must overcome to reach greater heights. Yeah, and I know we can overcome it so long as we're together. Your bond with Laura strengthened. We reached link level 3. The tea was delicious. Thank you for allowing me to join you. Incidentally, Tofel mentioned that you used to train somewhere deeper in the mountains. Is that true? Yeah, in the Isengard range. Wait, don't tell me you're planning on going up there on your own. Well, after that break, I feel like doing something more active. A walk in the crisp, snowy mountains should clear my mind just perfectly. I wouldn't mind a mountain walk. If you're really that interested, I can show you the way there. Would you? I'd be very grateful. Then we should set out at once. Willy Wonka? I don't remember. I know I've heard it. I just don't remember which movie. Together, Reen and Laura climbed the Ymir mountain path, their destination being the canyon above. Soon enough, they had arrived at the area where Reen once trained under Master Kafai. Nice training spot as long as you don't fall off the ledge by accident. Phew! I wasn't expecting the climb to be quite so lengthy. Or that far, really. You conducted your training a remarkable distance from Ymir for one so young. Yeah, we spent about a month living up here, away from civilization. We trained almost every day, but even when I wasn't training, he was teaching me how to live side by side with nature. We had to catch our own food, secure a place to sleep every night. Sometimes we'd even challenge monsters as practice. Oh my, that does sound rather harsh. You were just a boy at the time of your training, yes? I can't fault it, however. The Arcade School does have similar practices. Even when I was a child, I would often join the students in training in the mountains. I'm not surprised to hear the Arcade School's training's right up there with the 8 Leaves. I made it through it in one piece, but I was completely exhausted by the end. Elise was really worried about me. She couldn't stop crying when I'd finally come back home. That's not too hard to picture. After taking a look at the scenery, there's not a doubt in my mind that training here would be a valuable exercise. Yeah, it certainly was. Standing up here and being surrounded by nature serves as a reminder of just how small and insignificant we really are. I suppose you could say the same about our swords in this war. Sorry, Laura. I'm not following. No matter how much its wielder trains, realistically, a mere swordsman stands no chance against a force of tanks or soldats. That being the case, what significance do swords even have in this war? I've been pondering this a lot lately, and I still haven't reached an answer. That's a good question. And yet, when I look around at the vast mountains surrounding us, I feel like I've been liberated from those worries. It wasn't just because she was a skilled warrior that the Lance Maiden was able to end the war of her time. That played a role, certainly, but she must have possessed numerous other qualities that contributed. Yeah, that's true. And in the same way, I'm sure there's a role that swords can play in ending this war too, even if they can't do it alone. My thoughts exactly. We simply have to find it. And as a class, I know we will. After talking for a while, they enjoyed a short mock battle against one another before returning to Ymir. Your bond with Laura strengthened. Okay, so we bonded with Fee and Laura. Here's the Orbital bike. It's Angelica's Orbital bike. I'll have to take good care of this in Angelica's place. The garden. That's weird. There's almost always somebody standing, like, around this thing. Nobody this time. Here's our snow Mishis. No one... Here's the old boy. Mr. Gizmo's an amazing craftsman. All he needs is some wood, and he can fix just about anything. You know, like how he patched up our roofs when they were charred. He even fixed the open-air bath. Come to think of it, there's a lot of really cool guys in Ymir. It's like, everyone's here's really good at something. I can't figure out who I want to be like most. Aw, how cute. Drink of water. Alright, so let's go in here for a minute. To the surprise of no one, my wife just ended up ordering a ton of useless junk. Again. This order's highlights included some castanets and a shaved ice maker. I can't imagine anyone actually buying those, so I just tossed them into the storehouse. Sigh. Alright, so no reens are finished. Elliot. Laura. Marcus. I don't know why I did that. And Milliam. Sarah. Kind of hard to believe that Instructor Sarah and them wouldn't have already had their things already done, you know. Being who and what they are, but apparently not. Toval. Did I skip over Toval? And we're back to Reen. Okay. Alright. So we have Reen. Emma. So Eustace doesn't have a lot of stuff. I don't know if I have anything for him for that. Dragon Vision automatically analyzes defeated enemies. Strength plus 15. Insight for 5 turns. Alright, we'll lock that one there. It's got Aerial Move 2, Mind 2. Harold Grandfrost Dark Matter. So if I give him this one, I can take out Aerial and Dark Matter. What's on Mistral? Aerial is included with it, so it doesn't need to be on here anyway. Remove. Remove. And I need another one for that. Dragon Vision. Vanish. Get down to the yellows. Gonna make any of them. Gonna hit one. Hit one. Alright. Yeah, I have to go through these menus like this. Attack 2. And that's locked to yellow as well. So let's remove that there because that's not locked. And then we can put something else here. We don't have a whole lot here. If we can do... We only have HP 1. Use this first. Of course, I went right past it. Alright, I don't know what else he's gonna have, but right now that'll get us started. And we have Sarah. And we already took care of Toval and Claire last time because we had them. And Sharon. So just Sarah. So she has attack 2. And she has Thor, Stark Arrow, and Judgment Bolt. So I basically need 2 of the green ones. Recuria. Move 2. I don't have enough Sepith for that. Alright, so it'd be faster to go this way. Alright, quartz. So we can lock in the move 2. I can't make another one. So we'll give her aerial for right now. She's got attack 2, defense 2. Can we make another? HP 1? Prevent. Force. So she can do HP 1. And then, which one is this? No. Burn. Dragon. Oh man. I don't like any of these for her. Alright, I gave her attack 2 and she'll have attack 1. Alright, so that's everybody. I don't think we have any more. Oh, you know what we can do? Equip. He has his... She doesn't. She has her new bow I got her. He's good. Braver 2. I thought I said she had Braver 2 plus 1 already. Because I didn't make it, because I thought I already had it. Diablo and Pain 2. Cyclone, Destructive Rod. Claire, Precision Blaster. Oop. And then Sharon already had that. I couldn't upgrade that one. Okay. Anything? Yuguri, no. See, it says... That's what she had. Steel Claw. Hyper Claw. She already has Hyper. Yeah, I don't have those things. It is. It is, or it was. I went out. Wrong one. Yeah, he had a non-mistral. I gave him Megalith. That one's level 2. Where's... Taurus is also level 2. Damage of attacks and crafts raised by 75%. Uses crafts. Begins with physical immunity, magical reflection. Now that's pretty handy. I don't know. I hate messing around with their master quartz too much. That gets a little bit beyond my level of expertise. Oh, controller, don't disconnect, please. Okay, so I've opened up the slots that I had Sepith for. Where's the... So we had... Okay, so then I can go to shop and sell the extra weapons. And okay. Actually, wrong guy. I need doctor. Sharon. Do I want to buy him, Sharon? No. I saw young Eustace in front of the store not long ago. He's such a handsome young man, isn't he? He can spend as long as he likes out there, if you ask me. It's good to see all of your other classmates back, too. Although, I still feel like someone's missing. Am I imagining things? Nope, you're not. Is that... Someone won't be gone for long, though. We'll bring him back. I don't know about that. I don't buy it. Manly Munchy Soup, Gambo Jack, we have all of those. So I always just come in and buy a bunch of ingredients. And I have a ton of food. I don't have recipes for that or that. Okay. All right. And so he was out here, but he's not here anymore. So we've got Millium. Not bonding with Millium. I'm super bored. I'm thinking I might check out the souvenir shop. What kind of stuff do you think they've got over there? Think it's cool? We're about to have a major discussion about our class's future. How can you be bored? Okay, don't answer that. But you could at least brainstorm something and contribute to the discussion. Nope. You know, I'm never gonna come up with anything, and no matter what you decide, it doesn't change things for me. One way or another, Lammy and I are gonna keep on fighting with you guys. You just pick a path and we'll bust it open. Good to know. We do value your opinion, so you might want to think things over. Maybe looking at some souvenirs would help clear my head. No. I'll talk to Claire, but I don't plan on using it with Claire. Captain Claire, something wrong? Hello, Reen. It's nothing major. I just received an update from one of my men that contains some information I found personally relevant. Oh, well, I won't pry. But at the risk of sounding condescending, try not to push yourself too hard. Today is one of the few chances we'll get to rest. I appreciate the concern. Still, you have bigger things to worry about than my well-being, like the future of Class 7, for example. And with the town's defenses as solid as they are, now's the perfect time to sit back and figure all of that out. She's putting on a brave face, but I can tell she's more exhausted than she's letting on. No. Alright, let's start at the church. And then work to the other buildings and end with snowboarding. Alright, so there is someone over here. It's probably the sister. Make sure. I'm so glad you were able to find all your classmates. I should probably go around and ask them to all take good care of you. You're like a younger brother to me, and I love you dearly. We have a habit of finding trouble. So true. So very true. Unless you really want to embarrass me, please don't. Well, if you insist, I feel as though I should, though. Okay. Hydrate. Alright. Let's go outside. Find who is up here. Oh, Gaius. I figured a quiet church would be a perfect place to sit and think about what we can do. But so far, it hasn't done me much good. There has to be something we can do to help the people of Erebonia, but what? Yeah, though hopefully whatever we decide on will help people in Nord too. There's got to be something that only we can do that will help better people's lives. We just need to figure out what. That's about the point I'm at. Still, if we keep thinking it over, I'm sure the Winston Goddess will grant us their inspiration eventually. Yep. This does actually seem like a pretty good place to brainstorm. Maybe I should join him for a while. No. We can always come back, but... nobody there. Let's go this way. Tidying the storehouse is such a pain in the neck. Maybe please make sure to don't say anything like that in front of our visitors. Although I can't deny that it's true, my back's starting to hurt even. Gee, I wonder why. I sure wish I had that problem. Please, just stop. I'm so envious. She's got the size, she's got the bounce, and those are seriously deadly combo. Sharon's boobs are pretty impressive too, though. Okay, I had a feeling that somebody was eventually going to mention Sharon's tatas. I wonder who's bigger between the two. Purple's clothes always make it kind of hard to tell how busty she really is. But I'll find out someday. Oh, I'll find out. Oh my goodness. Alright, so no one's out here. Alright, we got one straight ahead and one on each side. I'm assuming straight ahead is upstairs. Yes, it looks like it is. So who's over here? Sarah. Useless. Deciding what our class should do has proven more difficult than expected. Still, I left Berea hard so that I could make my own decisions about my life. I'll make this one for myself, too. Yeah. I just gotta find her. Even if the decision is yours, the burden doesn't have to be. House Alberea's problems concern every single one of us. There's no reason you need to sort all this out on your own. We've been with you this long. That's not gonna change. Thank you, but I'm aware. Alright, no one's over there. It's just upstairs. And talk to Sarah real quick. See what Sarah says. Well, seeing as Toval and Miles are safe, I'm guessing all the bracers here in Erebonia are probably okay. Wish I could say the same for our colleagues over in Crossville, though. I can't even get in touch with Wenzel. A friend of yours? Yes, they are. We go back a ways, yeah. He used to be registered as a bracer here, but eventually he packed up and moved to Crossbow. Anyway, leave worrying about the guild to us. You've got enough on your plates as it is. Just focus on what move you guys are going to make next. If you feel like you need a break, I'd be happy to join you, though. And there's somebody upstairs. I think it is to the right. Elliot, not Emma. Sitting here. Brings back memories. Remember trying to lock down ideas for our concert in the middle of our trip? I guess it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like another lifetime, especially since Crow was with us then. Yeah, it really does. But it's another lifetime, isn't it? It's this one. There's no reason that all of us hanging out and having fun has to stay a thing of the past. The only hard part is figuring out how to make that a reality again, which is admittedly pretty hard, but I'm thinking of ways to make it happen. It doesn't really sound like he's getting anywhere. Maybe a break would help clear his head. Anyone else up here? There's somebody over here, but it's probably like a maid or something. Oh, nope, it's Machias. We're not bonding with Machias. Balancing ideas off that might help me think of something, but again, no dice. Afraid my thought process isn't much better. It goes without saying, the saving Elise, Princess Alpha, and your dad takes top priority for me, but we need to consider the country as a whole before we commit to something. The war's taken away our right to be selfish, which means we need to weigh in on more than just what we want, as nice as it would be to abuse Valamar's power willy-nilly. Alright, so it doesn't give us a choice for him, so that's helpful. Okay, not really helpful, it's just good. I just gotta figure out, there's only like a couple places left, so presuming that she's over here at the bar or the house on the end. There she is. I don't mind if you focus on class 7 for a while, but don't forget that we've got a full-fledged witch to worry about. And to be honest, I think the sooner we deal with her, the better. Before the time comes, you might want to try hardening up that bleeding heart of yours. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I do hope she'll give us a chance to talk things out first. That's the kind of soft-hearted thinking I was warning you about. This is not my conversation to enter. And here, I thought you would have grown up a little bit in all of this. Hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt her later down the line. But who am I to talk? I'm the same way. So I can't bond with Emma? Maybe she would be like the PM bonding thing? It's so wonderful to be back with Celine again. Now I can focus on how we should act from here on out. Not that that will be a particularly easy decision. Yeah, we are glad to have you weighing in on the matter, though. Oh, I just remembered. There's something I need to buy from the shop in the village. Oh? I can't tell you what it is, I'm afraid. It's a secret. I have no idea what she's talking about, but she sure looks happy about it. Okay, now I'm getting curious. Yes. I know Celine's not allowed, but do you mind if I join you with your shopping? If it's okay, I mean. I know the shop here pretty well, so I might be able to help you find whatever it is you're looking for. Really? That would be lovely. But you've got to stay here, Celine. Rena and I can handle this on our own, so don't even try to follow us. Fine, whatever. All the secrecy's creeping me out anyway. It's creeping the cat out. Rena and Emma left a slightly sulky Celine behind and took off to the store to buy whatever it was Emma was searching for. Here we go. The color looks just right, too. That's wool, right? I didn't know you could knit. I used to do it quite often back home, actually. I've been working on a scarf for Celine for a while now as sort of a reunion present. It's almost done, too, but I ran out of wool, so I came here to buy some more. Oh, really? In that case, why not finish it in our living room? That way you should be able to work on it without her finding out about the surprise. That sounds like an excellent idea. Thank you, Reen. After showing Emma to the mansion's living room, Reen decided to sit and accompany her as she worked, and both of them enjoyed the soothing warmth of the fire. And she's like, I made some tea, Emma. Wow, that looks great so far. Why, thank you, Reen. You knew it was going to be blue to match the bow on her tail. I think this deep blue color will really suit her personally. Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see how it'll look when it's done. It's nice to see how close the two of you are. Close? Do you really think so? She's certainly important to me, but at the same time, she's not exactly pleasant to me most of the time either. I think she's like that to everybody from what I've seen of Celine. I don't think she means any harm by it. Don't tell her that I said this, but she was really worried about you the whole time we were separated. I know for a fact that she cares about you, even if she has a tough time putting it into words. Really? Thanks for telling me. We've been together since the day I was born, but I guess I still have a hard time reading her. Once I began training to become a full-fledged witch, she became my familiar. So in a sense, she's like a sister to me. Really? I'm kind of jealous. As far as siblings go, it's like you two can be completely open with one another. But when it comes to Elise, I always find myself holding back from saying what I'm really thinking. You say that, but I'm sure Celine is still keeping plenty of things from me. I can certainly be more open with her than I can with Vita. Though, at least, if you don't mind my asking, how are the two of you related anyway? You said she was something of a sister to you when we first found out her true identity? She's a sister in the sense that we both trained to become witches together. I always admired and looked up to her, both for her skill in witchcraft and her beautiful voice. Even now, I feel like I'll never be able to catch up to her in terms of raw talent. I see. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. All you can do is keep trying, really. I suppose. One thing's for certain, you won't be able to catch up with her in a day. You didn't learn how to knit that scarf in a day, right? That took time. Catching up to Vita shouldn't feel any different. All you can do is keep trying to better yourself. When you put it that way, you have a point. Thank you for the encouragement, Reen. I feel a lot better now. Is that it? Eventually, Emma finished knitting the scarf and promptly delivered it to Celine. And while she may not have put it in words, it was obvious from her purring that she was very pleased. Your bond with Emma strengthened. Reen and Emma reached Link Level 3. I'm so glad that Celine ended up liking the scarf after all, even if she is still too embarrassed to wear it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm just distraught that you wasted your time and energy making something for me. Make sure you get some rest now, okay? I will. They're so happy together. There's got to be some place where we can unwind together. Yeah, yes. In that case, why don't the three of us head to the foot bath? We've got more than enough time, and it's a great place to relax. Oh, that does sound like a good idea. Inviting a cat to a bath? Yeah, I'll pass. Thanks. Suit yourself, Celine. See you later then. This feels wonderful. Celine was right. About what? She'd mentioned how the hot springs of Ymir have the ability to promote mana recovery for those who use them. Perhaps it's due to there being a spirit vein nearby, giving them the protection of the spirits. Really? That's interesting. It's a shame Valimar can't jump in here with us then. That's very true. Oh. Her glasses fogged up. Emma, your glasses have all fogged up, you know. Oops, I forgot to take them off. You didn't need to get that worked up about it. Although, come to think of it... What? What is it? You're staring an awful lot. Oh, sorry. It's just something that's been bugging me for a while. Your eyesight isn't really all that bad, is it? You noticed? Things get a little blurry, but it's not a major issue if I use a little witchcraft to compensate. Thought so. You weren't wearing them for our concert, but your choreography was still dead on. But why wear them if you don't need them? In a sense, they're symbolic of a witch's way of life. A witch must carry out their duties while nestled in the shadows of history. Reveal your true nature and you risk straying from the witch's burden and becoming swayed by basic emotion. Grandmother's always said that to me ever since I was a little girl. That's funny. I'd always pictured your grandmother as the friendly old lady, but it sounds like she's actually pretty strict. She has to be, really. She's both the Hexen clan's elder and a very powerful witch. So she has a responsibility to guide us in all we do. Both Vita and I were scolded by her fairly often during our training. Yeah, I can see that now. But then one day, Vita broke a taboo and vanished from the village. Grandmother seems to want to find her and punish her for what she did. But as for me, all I want to do is talk with her and find out what made her do such a thing. If I could just learn that. Sorry, Emma. What are you apologizing for? But, you know, sometimes I wonder if I'm being too naive when it comes to Vita. Even still, I'd like to think I've grown at least a little. Maybe it's about time I stopped wearing these glasses too. I couldn't tell you why, but wearing them somehow makes me feel like I'm always keeping secrets from all of you. You don't have to stop wearing them. Not wearing them would suit you. Reen gently put Emma's glasses back on her. Reen, I don't see why you should force yourself to not wear them if you want to. Besides, we're all used to you wearing them now. Oh, really? Still, whether you choose to wear them or not, and whether you're a witch or not, for that matter, you're still the same Emma we'll always love. Don't forget that. Thanks, Reen. That's such a sweet thing to say. After that, they both remained at the footbath and continued whiling away time with pleasant chatter. Your bond with Emma strengthened. Okay, so... I just want to make sure they're all spent. Nope, still shows it. Deciding what our class should do has proven more difficult than expected. Alright, this is the same dialogue that I read before. Hey, wanna come look after Arthur with me for a bit? Who in blazes is Arthur? Oh, was that the name of our family's horse? Got it in one. Since you're kind of a horse expert, I'd really appreciate it if you could help me out with him for a bit. Why not? I'd like to see him myself. Lead on. This is a fine horse. It has a strong air of dignity about it, much like the young horses back at the academy. Yeah, he does. He's pretty friendly too, isn't he? He's been here since Dad took me in, so he's getting up there in years. But he's still got that same energy. Dad still takes him out hunting along with Badeau. I see. I imagine his dignified appearance is a result of much experience then. He does appear to be in dire need of some exercise, however. His muscles aren't quite as defined as they should be. Wow, I'm amazed that you could tell. You're not in the riding club for nothing. He hasn't had much chance to get out and about since Dad was injured, so that's probably why. Savagely rejecting William. Yeah. Then if we can, I'd like to do something about that. What do you say to give him a good brushing before we take him out? I think he'd like that a lot, actually. After brushing Arthur and giving him all the care and adoration a horse could dream of, Rena and Eustace took him out onto the mountain path. It's not that I wouldn't use bonding points for William, just not right away. I'd rather catch up with Laura and Emma and Eustace since they're the last ones and I'm more likely to use them first, and then equally try to spread them out amongst the others. In quite a while since he last had the chance. So it appears. I imagine he would rather go out hunting with his master, however. Horses are always far more comfortable with their usual rider. My family and the riding clubs are no exception. That makes sense. But with Dad's injuries, I don't think he'll be fit to go out hunting anytime soon. Speaking of the riding club, do you have any clue what's going on back at Thor's? And I just remembered something. Silly me, how could I possibly forget that we have Sarah? Let's move them around. There we go. I forgot to put Sarah up when we got her back. Speaking of the riding club, do you have any clue what's going on back at Thor's? You were the one who managed to get the bike out of there, so I figured you might know something. Mind you that I was only able to do so through the Noble Alliance. I tried to make use of my position as a member of House Alborea as best I could. Unfortunately, my authority pales in comparison to Father or Rufus, so I'm afraid that was the most I could do. What a shame. Still, I appreciate you trying. I really do owe you a lot. even for little things like helping me look after Arthur. I hardly think I deserve your thanks. Being my father's son, some of the responsibility for his disgraceful actions falls on my shoulders as well. I have a duty to all within my power to atone for that to both Baron Schwarzer and Ymir's people. I'm sure my brother feels similarly, even if he appears to be prioritizing his role in the Civil War at the moment. Like I said back in Bereahard, there's no reason for you to feel responsible for what happened here. I understand that you're concerned about your father and your brother, but dwelling on the past benefits no one. All we can do is keep moving forward. You do have a point. No burden out there exists that you should have to shoulder alone. Not as long as you're a member of Class 7. As long as we're together, we'll be able to carry the weight of any burden. One would think I'd be used to how our class works by now. And the Imperial nobility should show its spirit through actions over words. Exactly. We both know what we need to do. We swore it to one another when we fought that moment you came back to us. Indeed, and I fully intend to do as promised. Okay. The two continued walking along the path with Arthur a little longer, then eventually turned and descended the mountain. Of course, upon their return to Ymir, they gave him a generous helping of food before going back to the Phoenix Wings. Your bond with Yusa strengthened. Okay. And their link leveled up. And then now we can look at this one. And so we've got Elisa, Gaius, Elliot. Who do I want? Claire, Milliam. I mean, I can do the second bonding event with Eustace. Or I can do one with Sarah. I think. No, I think I better do one with Sarah. Well, seeing as Toval and Miles are safe, I'm guessing all the racers in Erebonia, something. We read this before. Yes. Would you mind hanging out for a while? Striking while the iron's hot, I see. All right, I could use the company. And I was actually thinking of heading to the tavern for a drink or two. What do you say to a little change of venue? That's fine with me, but I'll stick with living the dry life. Figured you'd say that. Come on, then. No sooner had they arrived at the tavern did Sarah ask Gerald for alcohol recommendations, and after she offered to pay, Reen settled on a ginger ale. Ah, this is the good stuff. It's got a very mellow taste, but it's sweet and refreshing, too. I had no idea you could make something so good out of rice, of all things. It's kind of alcohol from the east that Master Kafai brought here, I believe. Gerald said it's called Junmai Shu. That Master Kafai sure knows his stuff. He sounds like a man I'd love to drink the night away with. He's always been a bit of a heavy drinker, so I'm pretty sure he'd take you up on that if you asked. But you might want to cut down on the booze. With things so shaky now, you never know when you'll need to take action. I know. I'm not planning on getting myself plastered when you've got that discussion later on, so don't freak out. I think I've earned a bit of alcoholic relaxation time personally. After all, I went cold turkey while I was in hiding. It was torture. Would you deny your poor instructor some sweet, sweet relief? Sure, relief. Let's call it that. What have you been doing all this time anyway? We didn't hear so much as a rumor about you. Oh, I was just lying low, gathering what information I could through connections from my guild years. Yeah, nobody believes that from Sarah. Information about what was going on elsewhere in the country, the capital in particular, that kind of stuff. In the capital? Did you manage to find anything out? No more than you did yourselves, sad to say. The Noble Alliance is doing a great job of keeping information from leaking out of the city. After that, I decided to sneak into the Croatian province to follow the Alliance's movements from there. And that was when I ended up getting in contact with Eustace. I see. It's pretty impressive that you were able to do so much all on your own. Well, working alone and gathering information are two things I had to get used to during my guild years. So it's nothing new for me. If anything, I'm more impressed with everything you've managed to do. I was glad to see everyone here was okay after that Jaeger attack, too. Sounds like it was a high-ranking corps. It was. Yeah, the Northern Jaegers, under orders from Duke Alberea. Fortunately, there were no fatalities, even if the experience was pretty traumatic for everyone. Dad's woken up now, too, so there's been no real long-term damage there. We had the goddess's blessings in that respect. I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help you when you needed it most, Reen. You don't need to apologize. You couldn't possibly have known what was going to happen. Is something wrong? You look distracted all of a sudden. No, it's nothing. I was just thinking about what a relief it is that your dad's okay. He always seemed like such a pleasant man, especially for a noble. Handsome, too. I don't like where this is going. Oh, relax. I'm just kidding. Anyway, all that aside, you've made it this far. You can make it the rest of the way, too. Just keep your eyes on the future, and that starts by deciding what to do next. You're right. We'll all be counting on your this stuff is awesome. At least you can let me finish before you wind up passed out on the floor. Okay, so we have Sarah. After finishing her drink, Reen led an ever-so-tipsy instructor Sarah back to the Phoenix Wings. Bond with Sarah strengthened. Link level 3. Alright, and... so that looks like everything's grayed out, so those are all done. So... I spaced there for a second and thought she said keep your eyes on the teacher rather than the future. That's funny. I was standing so close to the door I couldn't even see. Okay. So now we get fun times. I gotta go in that house too. The A3 course. Snowboard! Oh, I always forget there's no countdown and it just, boom, starts. Oh no, I hit the board. Missed a flag. Missed 2 flags. At least 2 flags. This one is definitely harder. Oh, I thought I could jump around it. Damn. I was doing good on the other ones. This one is definitely harder. Oh, I missed it. Ooh. Wow. Well, my time was okay. I just didn't get very many flags.
That wasn't so great.
Oh no, I got 58. I read them backwards. Retry. That's the first time I haven't passed on the first try. Oh, okay. That was sucky. Oh crap. Alright, this one's gonna be bad too. Okay.
That wasn't so great.
I've got to stop hitting those damn boards. Okay. Oh, I missed that one. Damn. There's one over here.
I did it!
Yay! Finally, I did it. I only missed one flag. Nice work. That there was an expert level course too. Well, here's your prize. Go ahead, take it. Passion leggings. Those things were expensive. Oh, and take this too. It's a new board that's gotten real popular among the youngsters. We got a purple dotted board. Select board in the course menu is now available. The difference between boards is purely, excuse me, hiccups, cosmetic, and so feel free to choose based on your personal preference. I'll be sure to keep the courses well maintained if you feel like boarding again. Just come by. I certainly will. See you then. Alright, just make sure there's nothing, like, task-wise over here. I don't think there is, but I wonder what Elise and Princess Zephyrin are up to right now. I'd like to believe they're safe and unharmed, but I can't say that I have that much faith in the Alliance. I just wish we could hear something about them. Rumor, fact, anything. Except there are definite right answers later for the best boards. Oh, really? Nice to know that. Alright, so we can head out. Now, I know we were supposed to meet at the Phoenix Wings, but I think I have to go back to the house. Oh, I didn't go fish.
Oh, I could probably fish here.
And that's why we're here. Get our fishing out of the way, and then maybe I just picked the first characters that came up because I was really only gonna come here and fish. So I might come back here later with some of the other people and Monster Hunt. I did not mean to hit that button. Okay.
Caught one.
Caught one. Gluttonous bass. Black Bengal. Okay.
Caught one.
Caught one. Two more. I can't even tell what that is. Oh, it's that angelfish looking thing again. Not angelfish, but sort of goldfish looking thing. It's hard to tell. Alright, one more. Last one. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. That's my Stardew Valley fish call. Here, fishy, 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 fishy. Okay.
Not bad.
Excellent. Okay. So we've used up our fishing things. I had to call my team together just to go out there and fish. Turn to Ymir. And... Alright, I thought I saw something. It was just must have been an illusion. Okay. So, I'm going to put Reen here in front of his house. I've been playing for quite some time between Stardew and this. So, I think I am going to come and save. And while Reen is standing here staring at me, just wanted to say thank you guys so much for being here for the stream. I greatly appreciate you. I believe, other than Steve, I think Luna has been in there with him today for moderation. So thank you to Steve and Luna for keeping an eye on things for me. If you haven't followed me yet, I would greatly appreciate you hitting that cute little heart button on your screen. It really helps me with Twitch and going forward. If you can do that for me, it costs absolutely nothing to do so. The other thing you've seen in the chat, there are links for the Discord and the YouTube page. Love to see you at either of those places. And what's left? Oh yeah, my schedule. My schedule is up on Twitch on my profile. The dates and times are fairly accurate. I might swap the games around a little bit here or there. As soon as I know what that is, I usually try to change it. But the times and stuff are pretty spot on. So that way you can find me. And I would love to see you back here again. Thank you for the Trixie, Steve. And I did forget to mention the Prime subscriptions. Those are free to you if you're a Prime member. Yes, Luna, we can do that after I get out of my game and everything. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe for free by linking your Twitch and your Prime accounts and settings. It's really easy to do. And they also have the regular subscription plans coming up. The normal 3 that Twitch offers for everybody. And coming up here in a couple of days, they're going to be going on sale for almost the entire month of September, starting in the 2nd. There's a message in here. You could look it up on Twitch for more information on the dates and times. It goes for subs and gift subs. So that saves you guys money if that's something you usually do or you like to do. Other than that, that's all I've got. I'm glad you came with me tonight here. Watch the games. Hope you had fun. And I will see you next time. And Luna, I will see you in a few minutes. Bye.